Well, there goes the neighborhood. Good morning, everybody. Ooh, this button was open. And welcome to the 951st episode of the Dave's Gone By show, featuring our friend Sweepy McSweepface, whom we just got about 2 weeks ago, and he's just become this incredibly important part of the family.
He's doing the screen.
Well, we're starting with a clean sweep here on the Dave's Gone By show. I actually do need to put a piece of Scotch tape up there because it's blowing the birds off the wall there. So this is kind of a preview, I guess, of Hurricane Beryl, which isn't really even supposed to come here, but we'll do it. Here we go. Yeah, we'll keep it nice and tight. Okay, that's better. And even our Mel is blowing around a little bit. Look at this. Wow.
Maybe it is Beryl.
Beryl's coming up through the southern states. It's going to hit Texas.
Really?
Because everything hits Texas.
I don't understand. So what is it, a tropical storm, a hurricane?
I think it's a Category 3.
I heard it was 5.
Hurricane. Well, it was 5, but it didn't stay 5. They never stay 5 for very long.
They probably can't maintain that level of...
When they're out over the ocean, they pick up all this water and they go, oh, I'm a 5, I'm a 5, I'm a 5. And then, like, the judges, they write, nah, you're 4, you're 3.
Aww.
Yeah, they don't necessarily make it.
Your shirt doesn't look green at all.
My shirt isn't green, it's blue.
No, it's green. It's green.
My shirt is green. It's blue.
Green. No, it's a dark green.
Is it really?
It's a green. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And Moppy, what do you think? I can't tell you how nice this feels.
It's microfiber.
No, I usually don't like microfiber. I hate. Oh my god! First time I.
His eyes match the microfiber cloths we have downstairs. We can make him a cape.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I came across anything that was like microfiber, it was blankets in hotels. There were these tan, beige, gold blankets, but they weren't cotton and they weren't poly either. They were just this weird material that my toenails would get stuck in. And I always hated it. It always made me feel really, really dry. And I thought it was like, what am I looking at? It's me. Yes. Microfiber-ish. I think that's for the first time I encountered the word. And I don't even like touching microfiber wipes. What are those called? Hand towels and dish towels? I don't like the feeling of them.
Is it because they have soap?
No, even dry one. It's sort of like,
not the soap.
I put my fingers in them and it just has this ooky feeling that you don't get from a typical cotton poly blend rag or towel. So, and yet, this fella, Sweepy McSweepface, is the one time that I'm like, ooh, I like him. He loves being scratched, on the head. I used to like this when I had hair.
I don't think he likes to clean. He enjoys cleaning.
Do you think he likes cleaning,
yes.
Or he's just born to clean?
No, I think he has what do you call it? Like a predilection. Like he loves cleaning. That's his thing. Like,
okay,
like,
great.
Like some golden retrievers, like squirrels. He loves dirt. Like he loves cleaning. He loves microfibering.
Well, but the problem is we've been saving him because we love him so much, and because I put him to my face, and that we haven't actually cleaned with him. We don't know. See, no, we haven't done that. So we are depriving him of the things we love because we love him. And sometimes, what's the old Police song or the Sting song?
Don't stand don't mop so close to me.
There he goes.
Don't mop so.
Or set them free.
Don't mop so close to me.
If you love your moppy, set them free. Let him be free to swab the kitchen floor and to go up on top of rotating fan blades and get that dust that's been sitting there for 5 years. Just let him do what he does. And then he is cleanable. You can pull this thing off the head, right, and put it in the washing machine.
I mean, we could, but I don't feel like it's appropriate. Like, no? I wouldn't put a friend's take off their head and put it in the washing machine. We should just spot clean them.
How?
Like a baby one.
It's dust. How do you spot clean dust?
His eye pressed up against the
Yeah, well,
Oh,
that's all right.
not nice either.
I gotta be careful with
Yeah.
Sweepy.
He has one lazy eye.
Yeah.
And he's also not straight. He's a little like.
Well, we're gonna bring him to
slanted.
Johns Hopkins Eye Center to
What about
have his eyes centered.
What
Yeah.
about his slanty?
This is also. I am holding him perpendicular here,
Yeah.
and yet this is. And there's no real way to correct this.
If you do that,
Oh wait, I just did. He's corrected.
Oh, not really. He's still a little
He's
off.
just a little off, but
Yeah.
so am I.
It's better. Oh wow, you fixed it.
Look at that! Look at that!
Maybe we should just get him like glasses and he'll be fine.
Oh, corrective lenses.
He's mad.
Oh, I thought he wasn't going to be on the show
Wants
today.
to go for his.
Yeah, his teeth are fine.
No, but if he goes for his eyes, he told me he wants to go for teeth. He wants to get.
Well, he wants to get his eyes done.
Oh.
Yeah, his teeth are fine. It's his eyes. I could use some work.
Everything has some sort of issue, and maybe a new hat. Maybe we'll take.
Oh yeah, his hat is.
We'll take him to Bridgerton, and they have the woman who makes the dresses and the hats on the show. We can make him a new hat.
You know, if they can do that, or just sew this one back on, maybe we can bring them this thing we got at a yard sale last weekend.
God.
Oh my God!
You should have. I can't get him.
He's in the car. Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. Oh no, you loved him.
I do. Love
You
him.
wanted him.
I do love him. I'll get a picture for you.
Yeah, this is. I don't. So we saw posters for this community estate sale. Now, you know, the estate sale is when it's a whole house of stuff of someone who dropped dead, right? Yard sale is just let's cobble together some crap we've gotten over the last 5 years, putting it out on the lawn. People walk by, they want something they don't. But an estate sale means, whoa, you know, grandma died, mom died, and we've got the house and all their stuff in it, and it hasn't really been updated or cleaned since 1971. Everybody chomped through furniture, whatever. Take. Or no, not actually take. The word estate automatically puts an extra zero on the end of the cost of everything. Yard sale, $3, $4, $7. It's like $30, $40, $70, right? But I love these things. I happen to. Oh, all right. Get that right. I'll build up to it.
Yours, yeah.
Yeah.
It's your phone. That's a better looking version of the one we have.
That's frightening. That's just frightening. All right. So let me tell the story, and then I'll get it up on the phone. But so I see signs for yard sales and garage sales, and you've heard me talk about this on the show all the time. I enjoy it. I don't know why I enjoy them. I don't.
Well, and then we went to both that yard sale and then the rich yard sale too.
Well, this was at the rich yard sale.
No.
No.
This was not at the rich yard sale. No.
This was a crappy one.
Yes. This was in the one where I was talking to the woman outside.
Yes.
And went in and a gentleman talked to inside. That was a small.
Oh, that was
house.
different. You're right. It was
That's
a different
where
one.
That was a hot day where it was her mother who passed.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the rich yard sale.
Yeah.
Where
So
they had the other.
Right. So we'll talk to that one.
Okay.
So you're right. This is like the more middle class yard estate sale, because you could go in the house and get
It
stuff.
was actually on our block, just several blocks over.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So and usually I'm frustrated about all this because
it was 90 degrees.
Right. And I do this program on Saturday mornings from 9 until noon. Dave's gone by, as you know, because you're watching, and you've been watching for 21 and a half years. So usually it's a frustrating thing for me, living especially where we do, because when they have yard sales in this town, it's Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12:30. Always. When we were in Colorado, the yard sales were from like 9 to 4. When we were in New York, they were all weekend long. They'd start them on like Friday afternoon and keep going Saturday and Sunday.
And they'd have the one, remember, by the railroad stations, like the parking lots. They'd have
yes.
We had a community yard sale, and we got like 2 plant pots for like 50 cents, but it was like 2 people. And we said, we got here late. Were there more people? And the lady said, no, that's it.
Well, because they're there all the time. But here, I'm lucky if we can get to a yard sale on time before everything's packed up in a box and gone. But this one was a 2-day.
We were lucky this time, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I love him. He's Squirrel Squirrel Pants, right? Is that his?
Yeah. Did we name him? I hope we name him. Yeah. So I go in, and I'm chomping around, and this is a typical classic case, what I was talking about before, of a place where you can tell old people lived, and were updating and keeping things okay until about 40 years ago. And then they just kept living there and living. You don't change the carpet. You don't do this. You don't do that. You're just comfortable living there because everything else becomes an uprooting away. You don't want to do. You don't feel the need to do.
Moppy McMoppelstein, he wants to clean.
Oh.
He wants to go to yard sales to clean.
Yeah, he could go to some of these things, but you get it. You know, it's not like they're filthy, but also they're filthy because people are dragging stuff out of attics.
And it's also
to put,
like, it's not like when you go in someone's house, all their contents of their closet are not on the floor in front of the closet.
True.
So they take things out of their normal setting, and they, like the kitchen we went in, even in the rich one, it's like the kitchen, everything was out of the kitchen and on the...
Right, so yeah, that makes it look a lot more cluttered and a lot more whatever than the way people were actually living, for sure. They throw everything on the bed. And then when people look on
there are a couple women I've seen at several of these yard sales.
Mm-hmm.
We need to ask them, like, how do they locate them? Is there some kind of yard sale? Because there's Facebook things for, like, yard sales.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're good. Like, we need to ask somebody who goes to these yard sales frequently.
Well, we ought to tell. I mean, I've been doing this so long that when we were living on Long Island, we would get Newsday newspaper, and the hard copy newspaper would list local yard and garage sales.
Maybe they're, but I know Facebook does it. But you know, like my problem, they have all these like local yard sale groups and stuff. I don't know if they're real. You know, like is it a real group or is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Like
Impromptu,
group,
maybe.
And they sell crap. Like I don't want an online yard sale. I want a link to physical yard sales. But every one I look at, it seems like it's a link to online yard sale. You know, like.
Well, what do you think Craigslist is, but an online yard sale?
I want to see like yard sales in the area.
Yeah, I mean to physically see her.
Like that listing you were talking about.
Yeah. But the only way we figure it out is if we suddenly see a sign that says, yard sale.
But there were two women who had like I've seen this woman twice where she's actually on the phone during the yard sale and she's talking to someone, probably pricing stuff.
Oh.
So she's like, I see that the woman's like, no. And then she's like, I got it. And I'm like, yeah. So she must have somebody looking it up on a computer.
When you live in an era, you can go by someone, take a picture, send it to someone, and be
so
like,
I think we got to figure out, like, or maybe the ladies, like the pink apron ladies or the ladies who run them, we got to get the name of the company who do estate sales, and then they probably have a listing on their website.
Where they are,
That would be more organized, especially since you can't, you have certain hours you can't because you're doing your show live.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could figure out a way.
But the two that I went to last weekend, one of them, I'm tromping around this guy's house, and the guy was a talker, which is.
That's what the woman said. She said to me, because I was looking at stuff, and she said, "Why don't you have a seat?" I said, "No, ma'am. These are your chairs for your yard sale." She said, "Oh, he's going to be in there a while," and I was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "My husband's not a talker." She said.
Mine is, yeah. The guy, nice guy.
Yeah.
But he's not like trying to hawk or push me, but he's still trying to tell me.
He's friendly. Yeah, he's a very nice man.
Yeah, spare me from friendly people, ladies and gentlemen. So no, he was cool. He was fine. But I just, I'm in somebody else's house, a dead person's. Yeah.
Moppy McMoppelstein would have liked it. He could have cleaned the house.
He could have cleaned it right up.
He said he doesn't do toilets. The windows. He'll do your ceiling fan. He'll do your furniture. No toilets.
No
he doesn't want to get wet.
Oh.
No head in the toilet for Moppy McMoppelstein.
What about the stick part of the toilet?
No, he doesn't. No, he refuses. That's where he draws the line. He'll probably have toilet brush or something.
Oh, we could get one of those.
It'd be horrible to have a toilet brush with eyes. You'd be drowning it.
Well, to leave aside what we were just talking about, since you bring that up, they were talking about that on some show.
Toilets?
Well, the idea, like, if you buy a brand new toilet brush, or out of the store, and you're making ribs, like baby back ribs, and you use the toilet, people would be like, ew, but really, you're just putting gravy on a toilet brush.
But
you might as well be using anything.
Because we associate certain things for certain usages, and you don't want to put caca on food. Like that's.
But it's no caca on it. It's just an item.
Let me give you the Delta thing.
I haven't shown the. I haven't done
I can find him again.
All right, yeah.
Hold on.
So, by the way, you're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, and my darling and adorable wife, and you are live with us on this Saturday, July 6th, 2024, with the 951st episode of the program. And this is what we do. We yak all over the place for a little while, and then we have certain segments that we do on the program.
This is like,
So, for example, Greeley Times, which is coming up, which is based on a column that regularly appears in the Greeley Tribune newspaper, and we've been doing this, this segment for years. It's kind of fun. We'll have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we're going to Alkire Estates, Colorado, for a poem. I'll also have story time with Rabbi Saul Solomon with a book about octopuses.
Oh.
Yeah, and what? And we have a special guest. I'll tell you about the special guest in a little bit.
Get your guest.
Wait, what? Yeah, we can do this.
No, that's because you're talking about like using a toilet brush for barbecue.
Oh yeah, no. Apparently there was a Delta Airlines flight that was fairly recent. I guess. Oh, I can't read the Washington. I can't open the Washington Post on this, but they served food, which is nobody serves food on an airline anymore. I don't even know where they got food. It was kind of like it was an international flight, so I guess they still serve food. What does Aki have to do? Oh, Aki for this, yes.
He wants to hear your story.
Yeah. And apparently 15 people got diarrhea. And airplanes have two bathrooms.
They had to land the plane. Like, it's one thing like, okay, somebody, I mean, I've been on flights where one girl, on our honeymoon, it was 2 flights to Hawaii. The girl had a bad toothache. And then she didn't know what to do. They tried to medicate her on the plane, but she was just crying. It was so bad. And then she ended up not getting the second flight. Like, and her friends were debating whether to stay with her or they didn't want to go. I don't know. But
that didn't affect the whole flight and every passenger.
No, but things happen. But one bad meal, like somebody could get, oh, my friend. So my friend went to a conference in Germany, and she got a meal. I think JFK or LaGuardia, a prepackaged meal, and it was something like salmon, and she ate it on the plane, and it gave her food poisoning. And she got to Germany, and they had to isolate her in the airport, and then they had to give her IV, and she had.
Why would a food poisoned person have to be isolated?
Because they didn't know what it was. She was coming from an international flight. She was vomiting and had diarrhea. So then they all she could eat, and she didn't know couldn't speak German, and she was in a hostel. They just gave her like beef broth the whole time because she couldn't eat food.
Right.
So you can get sick from airport food.
No kidding.
That's not unusual, but. 15, was it the
pilot? I haven't read I tried to open the story. It's the Washington Post. It wouldn't let me open it. So, yeah, if you could find the information on this. Because I do love me some diarrhea stories. I do indeed. But what were they? They were served something on an international flight. And I guess a lot of airlines have dodged a bullet by not having to serve food for all these years.
Menu was
If you just serve a bag of peanuts and pretzels and a can of
It said here some
Coke.
70 passengers became sick, adding that they stopped eating the chicken after feeling it was really sour, while others said black mold was on some of their meals.
Ew!
Spoiled food meant about 75 international flights were serving only pasta on Wednesday and Thursday.
Sure.
But the pasta days are in the rearview mirror now.
Oh. Well, wait. They're serving only pasta because what they were serving, the chicken, was bad.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Oh, they have photos.
Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Joyce is scrolling through photos here of people being sick on the Delta airline. Oh, here comes one. Oh, did they actually take pictures of the moldy chicken? Oh, this is going to be great.
Just don't touch anything.
I'm going to try not to. Oh, that could be blackened.
No, that's black mold on chicken, and people ate that.
Because they probably thought it was like Peruvian charred chicken skin or something.
Yeah, no.
Oh my heavens!
Yeah,
and they ate it.
Yes.
It's still better than the food in half of the third world countries.
When you're on an airline, you're like thinking, you're so happy just to get food.
Yeah, right. 18-hour flight. I'll eat some mold, just to have something to do. You got some listeria.
Oh my God!
Cheese. What?
Both pilots ate the chicken.
And that's why they landed the plane.
Yeah.
They didn't land the plane because the passengers were queuing up for the toy. They landed because the pilots couldn't sit in their seats. Delta Airlines has pulled some meals for a second day in a row on up to 75 of its international
Where they
flights.
say don't eat the chicken, isn't that a joke?
Well, those meals came from the same caterer responsible for what passengers described as moldy chicken this past Wednesday on a flight to Amsterdam. And the funny thing, KLM is one of the best airlines ever flew, but this is Delta. Yeah. Some passengers became ill, prompting the flight to make an emergency landing at JFK. So wait, they were taking off from
Detroit, I think.
Oh, Detroit to yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Delta told CBS News that, quote, out of an abundance of caution, they adjusted its food service. Out of an abundance of, you had 70 people vomiting and shitting bad chicken. We're going to be cautious.
I mean, like, oh, yeah.
Oh, let's see. On Wednesday, the pilots of Delta Flight 136 asked for medical personnel to be ready at the gate.
Oh, God.
And they landed at emergency at 4 a.m.
But that's bad. You know, like, when they land emergency, that's one thing. But a medical personnel at the gate, there's bad stuff going down.
But this just says a dozen, not 70. This says a dozen became...
Well, 70 people ate it, but then they probably cycled through their little colons or whatever.
Oh, this is good. Delta provided hotel rooms and food voucher.
Oh, no.
Because Delta knew all they'd be ordering is like toast. Toast and tea.
Do you have any broth and one rice?
Yeah. Delta knew they wouldn't be ordering like the lobster thermidor. Oh, yeah. This is not the service Delta is known for.
I'd like the moldy chicken that will give me explosive caucus.
I mean, they ought to do that, though, for the two pilots, though. They ought to rig the pilot chairs as toilets. So that way, God forbid, because the passengers, all right, they can deal with it if they shit the seats.
If they had to fly, they could fly while pooping. They just poop all over the cockpit.
Well, that'd be horrible.
Yeah,
but if there's a cistern that they could go right into, if they just pull down their pants and there they are, they can keep flying the plane. Unfortunately, the stewardesses would have to wipe them.
Yes.
And that would be a little extra combat pay.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to go
for the flight attendants. It's like, attend to the Charmin.
Can we have someone in first class, please? The pilot needs some wiping.
What
else did they say? Anything?
No, that was the whole story.
It was rough. I mean, like, I read it on my thing because I get like the current news, you know. But I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. So anyway, I was at this yard sale.
I got rid of them.
Yeah, we'll find them again because let me build to the moment. So, and I'm wandering around this house with this guy who wasn't in the house. It was his, I think, wife's mom's house or something.
Yeah.
And he's showing me around and pointing to things and going this and this. And like, there were photo albums. And I'm always most interested I don't want them, but to page through albums of pictures taken in the 1920s and 30s and even before. And I can tell him, you know, it's this typical thing. If you go through a house like that, where people have items of things, and then you as we've been watching a lot of Antiques Roadshow, because it's on one of the channels on Samsung, and you get like a string of 20 appraisers.
Oh, yeah.
And you bring them in, and one will go like, oh my, that's worth $3,000. That's worth $400. That was, but you've got a house full of crap, and then to literally find all the people who could appraise the one thing that would be worth something. This is why people just like divest. And he said, well, I can't believe what they divested for $12 and it's worth $500. Well, because, they weren't going to run around to find some particular appraiser for that item, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because in one of the places, in the other yard sale or estate sale that we saw in the nicer place, they had like a Spanish-American war uniform.
I think it was something she made or somebody sewed. It didn't look old.
Well, either that or it was in such fantastic condition.
I think it was something they made, David.
Could have been, but it did look sort of a modernish, well-made version of something. Because if this coat was actually in the Spanish-American War and was 130 years old, that's pretty staggering for the condition that it was. But I'm going around this guy's in-laws' house, and looking at things, and you know, it's always the old stereo equipment, and these books lying around, and this here, and then plates, and the occasional piece of furniture. And I see, one of the first things I see is a squirrel. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, because it looks rather ratty and mangy. Is that an actual stuffed? I was just fascinated by this because taxidermy I've never understood the appeal of taxidermy. Some lives, some dies, you bury it. You don't stuff it and put it somewhere. And he said, no. That's not a taxidermy real object at all. This is or was a toy. It's a figurine. And I pick it up, and I'm picking this thing up really delicately and gingerly. Mainly because, A, I'm afraid it's going to fall apart in my hands. And B, I don't know what diseases I'm going to get from this thing. But it is a squirrel figurine.
And she said it had a nut, but it's a pine cone. Tell them that.
Well, it had its hands like this, where apparently it used to hold a pine cone. And they're movable. The arms are movable.
Bring him next week. He's so cute.
Yeah, he's in the car. He's in the back seat of the car. Because who wants to bring that thing in the house? But I'm holding this thing. And one of the creepiest things about it is that it has eyes and eyeballs, but the threads on them are really loose. So the eyeballs are like hanging down to here on each of the sides of its head.
Poor thing.
And the fur is all bristly, and it's a little bit of worn away in certain parts. I'm like, yeah. I put it down. I made me wonder why the hell he would keep this, let alone have it in the first place. Why? Even when the woman living there reached her 80s and wasn't cleaning anymore.
Maybe it was her friend, her baby doll friend.
Could have been something from her daughter loved as a child. Yeah. And so I put it down, I look around the rest of the house, I don't really see anything I'm interested in. And then I come back out, and you're on the lawn chatting with the woman who's helping run the sale.
That was her mom who passed.
Oh, it was her mom. And I look at you, and I'm like, oh, I got to do this. So I think I bought a book. I think I bought Slaughterhouse 5 there. He had a copy of Slaughterhouse. I mean, it charged $1. I'm like, dude, it's a step. Why? It's a 25-cent thing. Why are you charging $1 for a paperback book?
They may not make money on it, thing.
So, but to me, I bought the damn book. I thought, no, he told me $2. And I said, will you take $1 for it? He said, yes. Like, gee, come on, right? I'm being nice to even buy this. So, but I see Joyce there, and I go back in. I'm like, I gotta do this. I was like, honey, what do you think of this? Yeah. And I very gingerly pick up this squirrel object, and I bring it out. On the assumption that you would look at me and go, put that, forget bed bugs, there's leprosy on that, whatever, just don't bring that, what's the matter with you? Why are you even holding that? And you said, oh, I love him.
Oh, I did say that.
You said, oh, the equivalent of, can we keep him? And I'm looking at you because you're calling me out on my game.
It's better than your 6-foot bunny. You wanted to get that nasty 6-foot bunny.
So now I'm stuck because now I can't just bring the thing back in
you could have.
as a joke, or I was going to ask you to take a picture of me with it.
You could have brought it back and said we can't have it, but you know.
And then now I have to dicker with the guy, and I'm figuring the guy will just give the thing to me because it's a horrible piece of crap. Because we've done it. We've been to yard sales. I'm like, is this anything? I said, take it. Just take it. That's how we got Bumbo.
Yes, that's how we got Bumbo.
We had a giant plastic clown head. And I saw it along. This is the worst thing ever. And I was just like, how much you want for that? Oh, we can have it.
Because he worked for the company. Maybe he wanted to get rid of it, yeah.
So, but this guy is like,
because they sold nothing else, that's why.
Well, and it's like $5. And I'm like, I didn't want to, he should pay me $5 to take the squirrel out of there.
He was very cute, that squirrel.
Well, so I didn't want to barter with him. I didn't want to whatever. So I took the squirrel, put him down carefully, and I gave the guy $5 because he kept also telling me, oh, no, that's German. It's German. I'm like, I don't give a fuck where it's from.
No, because it's
German is not a great thing for a Jewish person to hear.
Because it's stiff. You know?
It turns out, if you look on the label, it's a stiff or whatever the hell they call it, animal, which I thought maybe, all right, they made it in the 1930s, 40s. It would be worth something if it were old and in much better condition. But it was fine. It's a German German bear squirrel thing. I don't know why I keep saying bear. Here, this is not ours. This is the equivalent to what the guy had.
Except the eyes are hanging out.
Yeah. Well, this one's eyes are in. Eyes, the pupils are like, what is it, retinopathy?
Yeah, he has some kind of dangling, like, I don't know, it's like
yeah,
it's like a disease where your eyes fall out of your head. You know what happened? I think he ate the thing at Delta.
That's it. He had such massive diarrhea that his eyes...
Oh, you can show the whole thing in his triptych of 5.
Oh. So ours is kind of the equivalent of this thing. Not quite the same. The eyes are a little different, but it really is a stiff squirrel from what I thought would be younger. Apparently, this might have been just from the 1960s. So not even that old.
He's very cute. Oh, this one's messed up worse, but his eyes are in.
And yet my wife is looking on places like Amazon and eBay. And squirrels.
No, he's got the pine cone. See,
he does have the other the
little green pine cone in his hands.
No. Where is he?
He's holding. Yeah.
He's holding something. It looks like he's holding a glove.
No,
that's like a pine cone.
No, that's his hand. But
that's his hand.
You see the pine cone here?
No. What's it? I see an orange thing.
Okay, hold on. I'll show you the pine cone. It's right here. See if that's the pine cone.
Oh, underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
But the thing is, ours is without the pine cone. The eyes hanging down. Fur here, no fur there. Fur here, no fur. And yet we look on.
Oh, that one says it's pre-owned. Wow, I would never have guessed.
Yeah. And these things are worth 50, 60, 70 bucks.
His name is Perry. This one's only worth 30, the one.
Oh, yeah.
But they call it Perry the squirrel. Perri.
Perry the squirrel. Mm-hmm. I don't know why maybe it means something in German.
He's so cute.
Maybe because it's perimenopausal and all his hair is falling out.
I love him.
Yeah, so yeah. The $5 that I may one day need for my feeding tube or for my cancer medication.
Look at this one.
We spend on a squirrel.
This one's $50 and he's more messed up than ours.
That's what I'm saying. This is the eyes. If we fix the eyes,
yeah, but he's got no ears and stuff. He looks more scruffy than ours.
Yeah, right? This is and this looks soft and warm and cuddly. It's not. Yeah. It's not. You hold it. It's like holding a pine cone. You can't even hug this thing. You don't want to hug this thing. So now we have one. We have a stiff.
What are we showing on us? Oh, that's his ear. That's not good, honey.
So yes, we added to our family of potatoes in the house and octopuses and Sweepy McSweetface with a horrible old disgusting squirrel that's worth more than all of these things combined. Go for it. You never know. You never know. Yeah, and my wife thinks he's really, really cute.
He's adorable. He's got some. Oh.
Literally, he's adorable.
Yeah, a lot of them have some issues.
Yes. Yes.
They were loved hard, I think.
All right, that's nice. That's kind of. Remember a year and a half ago, or a year ago, we bought a giant fuzzy unicorn, and it had shit stains on it.
We didn't buy it.
No, that's right. No,
that was gifted. Yeah,
that was gifted.
Well, that was said, take it from the neighbor, and we said we're going to give it back. He said, the F no, you're not going to give it back. He started yelling, don't give me that effing unicorn. He was yelling it. Remember?
We had that unicorn in the house for like 8 months until we finally found someone who would take it. And my wife was kind enough to figure out a way to clean what was probably food stains, but who knows?
No, I don't know what that was.
It was the Delta Airlines mascot. It was a pink, fuzzy, giant unicorn with like a brown stain on the side of it, which we assume was a child spilling chocolate or something, but who knows? At least we got rid of that, and now we have Squirrel.
I think it's beautiful.
All right. Well, we have to figure out how to sew it. I don't know from a sewing thing how to get an eye, 2 eyes, back in there. We'll get fix that. Anywho, you're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz. It is our 951st episode of the show, and we are calling it, I haven't even had a chance to tell you, we're calling it Jile Bait. Not jailbait, Jile Bait. Because our guest in the Daverhood is a playwright, novelist, former actor as well. Fella, if you know him at all, if you're in New York theater.
This Internet Archive fights to preserve digital libraries in second court hearing.
Good. That's archive.org. Oh. That's where Dave's Gone By is. Yeah.
You know that? Did you know that story?
Yeah. All right. Let me finish doing John Jiler and I'll get to this. But John Jiler, he co-wrote the musical Avenue X, which ran off Broadway about 25 years ago. And then it's also played all over the place. He's done some other plays, some one-man shows. In fact, he has a one-person with a clarinet, clarinetist or saxophonist, or a accompanist, a musical accompanist that is going to be playing at 59 E59 theaters starting this week for 3 weeks. And it's called the Rosenberg Strange Fruit Project. And he's going to tell us all about it when he talks to Rabbi Sol Solomon in just a little while on this episode of the show. John Jiler coming up. But okay, when I tell you that our episodes of the show, if you miss a show, if you don't go back and hear a show from 5 or 10 or 15 or 18 years ago, you can go on davesgoneby.com. All the archives are there. You can also go on archive.org, archive.org. And we have a channel there, and all our episodes and all our interviews are there. Well, Internet Archive is a repository. It's a not-for-profit organization that is trying to just get all literature, old radio shows, TV shows, music, any arts and entertainment and lit, and photos and what have you, from the past 12,000 years to have a repository where people can go for free to access them as scholars would, or just your average interested person.
Yeah.
But copyright issues are involved because you can upload, and you know, if you upload stuff where there's copyright. So the Internet Archive has to fight in order to do what it does. So apparently, I haven't read this story. You just found it. This was just printed a couple of days ago. Friday's arguments stem from a 2020 copyright suit in which 4 major U.S. publishers claimed that the archive was illegally lending digital copies of their books. So essentially, it is like a library.
He's cleaning your glasses.
Oh, thank you, sir. That
Can you
feels
see
so
better
good.
now?
Whoa! Wow!
He's cleaning your sweat too.
I can't tell you how I feel. Oh, how nice that feels. Oh, can you do the testis?
No.
So.
Moppy, no do that.
Well, thank you, Sweepy. It's very nice.
You're welcome.
So they asked a panel of Second Circuit Court judges on Friday to toss a lower court's ruling that stated its digital stash of scanned books infringed on the copyrights of some of the largest book publishers in the county.
Wow.
So that's the thing.
It would be for music, but wow.
But yeah, but books too. And you can go on archive. So what they do is somebody went to a Xerox, scanned page after page, and so you can read an entire book as if you're reading it's not like a digital wiki or Gutenberg.
Yeah, like a PDF.
Yeah, it's more like, you're literally reading the book page by page, flipping the pages, and I guess some of those books, or some of those versions of books that may be in the public domain are copyrighted in that version by that publisher.
It says it has 835 billion web pages, 44 million print materials, and 10.6 million videos.
Well, I'll tell you, 900 or plus the interviews, I would say something like 2,000 of those videos are from Dave's Gone By, because we're up there. And then very proud to have our work on archive.org. I don't get a penny. It'd be nice. If there's a class action and all of us get some money, I'll take it. But no, I'm happy to have the platform that my episodes of this program are up there with old Abbott and Costello TV shows or Jack Benny shows on the radio and The Shadow and copies of everything, I guess, from Slaughterhouse-Five, which would be copyright, to Boccaccio's Decameron, whatever. I'm proud to be part of that company, if you will. So let's hope that archive.org wins its suit, because I would hate to see them be chained or even go under, because that would really, really, really suck. Anywho, more on Dave's Gone By this Saturday morning, July 6th, 2024. I hope you had a good July 4th and holiday week. It's still a holiday weekend, but I certainly hope you had a good holiday. We were blessed with thunder and rain. Not a lot of lightning, but a lot of thunder and rain on the holiday, which is always the best thing because it keeps the idiots somewhat out from blowing their fingers off and using giant M80s to scare the neighborhood. And, that's perfect lead-in.
There's stuff coming up, just don't click on your other stuff.
All right, well, here's...
Oh, God.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is.
How many did he eat? 60?
No. Well, let's roll into this. Because here's the deal. We all knew, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. The terrible, terrible falling out between Nathan's Hot Dogs and the greatest eater of all time, Joey Chestnut. Well, Joey,
the announcer's like, Mickey Sudo makes the world spin along its axis.
We love the announcer. He's great.
Yes,
he's great.
Wonderful.
George something. And for years, I was going to say my wife and I have been watching, but basically I watch and my wife just tolerates it. The Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest held in Coney Island at the Nathan's there and broadcast on ESPN2. They do the women's on ESPN3 and then the men's on ESPN2 at noon. And even when we couldn't get ESPN anymore because we were away from cable, there was a guy on the roof on YouTube shooting down into the contest. And so...
But when Joey left, he stopped doing it, I guess.
Well, we weren't home. We didn't even look for it.
We did. I looked on the YouTube. That's how I found it last time. I couldn't find it. I bet you.
Oh, that's right.
I bet you he didn't do it after Joey is not a contestant.
Because Joey's the man, the myth, the legend. Joey Chestnut is, I think he was 10 consecutive years winner of the Nathan's contest, broke world records couple of times, including one time where he downed more than 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes. 70 plus hot dogs and buns,
I gotta get the picture of the lemonade.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm leaning at. I'm rolling into all of it.
Did you show that already?
I showed that picture of Joey.
So let me.
But I haven't even explained that yet of what they did.
I couldn't find the other one.
So, but this year, as you know, as I'm sure you know, Joey signed a contract to make some money. I mean, real money. He signed a contract with Impossible Meats, which are not actually meats, so it's impossible to enjoy them. No, I'm sure they're good. It's just they're probably very salty and full of God knows what. But they're vegan, fake meat meals. So he signed this contract with them for 4 years, a $1.2 million contract. Yes, that's it. So, and Nathan's couldn't abide that, apparently. Somehow they couldn't come to terms. I mean, everybody else, Joey would eat. He doesn't just spend all year waiting to appear in this competition. He eats every week in some other competition, and this is how he makes a pretty decent living, as do some of the other guys. And I guess they're allowed to sign deals with sporting good companies or branding things. Right? So Joey signs with Impossible Meats.
Yeah.
And Nathan's is like, look, our 4th of July thing is, on some level, a promo for Nathan's hot dogs and other sandwiches that we do, and our beverages and so forth. So for you to be up there essentially representing a company that doesn't even touch real meat, we can't have that. And Nathan's is saying, no, we didn't really say that, we don't actually have a real and Joey's saying, no, they're not letting me. And
Nathan, and then when Joey didn't say the Nathans, he just said the hot dog eating competition. He wouldn't say the company.
No, right, yeah. So they went on the outs, and it was tragic because I had assumed that Joey had reached his peak a couple of years ago, and now is going to coast slowly on the way down until some other challenger finally. It could take a couple of years. What?
They're talking about the one who did the thing.
Yeah,
Someone said the comments say he saw the Mets play.
Joey, we had seen him in his prime at the Nathan's house. I mean, breaking record after record, including the 70. And then after the 70 plus, there was a year when one idiot protester interrupted him because there were anti-meat, and Joey literally, remember this? He was stuffing a hot dog in his mouth, and they grabbed the guy and he was going to be violent, and he still kept eating, and he still won. He didn't break a record. And then there was another year where it was just so hot and miserable out that he was down to like 60-something hot dogs instead of 70 plus. So I thought, okay, Joey pinnacled, and he's still the best, but every year's fine. So
you can't maintain that for long.
Yeah. But Joey, out of the Nathan's hot dog.
Oh no.
Right. Well, let's get to that in a minute.
It started. I don't think I gotta do it again.
Instead, Joey announced that, hey, you can still watch me eat hot dogs 2 different ways. First of all, he signed something with Netflix and with the great Takeru Kobayashi, who was the man before Joey became the man. And Kobayashi and Joey are going to go at it on Labor Day weekend on Netflix in a live event. Fabulous. So it went, I talked about this last 2 weeks. It went from being a tragic thing of no Joey at the Nathan's July 4th eating competition to, you got the July 4th eating competition, and it's going to be a real horse race because now there's no clear, obvious winner. And a few weeks later, you got Joey going against Kobayashi. Whoa! Right? And then, as if, God sometimes does answer prayers. Because God said, you know what? Joey isn't just going to sleep in on July 4th. He's going to go down to Texas, of all places. Fort Bliss, Texas, which is apparently this military training ground installation place in Texas.
The size of Rhode Island.
Literally, physically the size of the state of Rhode Island is this military encampment and base and everything else. And Joey was there for like a day or two, raising money for, what was it, the families of soldiers or something?
Well, I found the whole video from Nathan's.
Great. But what
So there's an organization that helps families of soldiers like readjust or get supplies or resources.
Yeah. So
Joey was apparently, first it was the pizza eating, but there was basically a guy, his roommate, and 2 friends.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
The pizza. Okay, so and they slapped this together in a couple of weeks, but they did very, very well. At this army base, they have a special 4th of July eating event to raise money.
But no, I also think that Joey made it, but they also have a concert and stuff. So I think he tacked on to an existing event.
You're right.
It was the pre-show.
So first they have a pizza devouring cup, but it's not professional eaters. It's army guys.
Yeah.
And the pizza is brought out. How many slices of pizza
like 2
can they eat in 3 minutes?
And they're all eating against it, right? Or no?
No, Joey wasn't part of that.
That's
no.
right. Okay,
this was just like 4 or 6 army guys.
Yeah.
6, I think it was.
Who rolled out of bed and put on shorts.
Yeah, all dressed for the occasion. And they start eating, and you figure, okay, pizza is big, but not so big, or whatever.
The biggest the biggest overpowering move was one guy put 2 slices of pizza on top of each other.
Right.
But then he couldn't eat it, so he took it apart. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it didn't really
So
work.
that was
right.
like the excitement. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know how the best, the most that like big lummoxy army guys could manage in 3 minutes was 4 slices of pizza.
You could eat more than that. I've seen you polish more than that off. Tony and I, my friend, when we used to have pizza night and watch TV, we could have done more than that. Yeah.
You would figure something like 8 or 9 slices, and
but also it was like you said, it was very hot, and like one guy there, like the 2 winners.
Yeah.
They remember 2 guys had the same, and he's like, okay, who gets the belt? And then he held a hand over them.
That was nice.
And then the guy said it doesn't matter anyway because we're roommates, so we could share it. So apparently they just got a couple roommates.
They got a couple of guys like, you want to be on pizza? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
free pizza.
Yeah, like you want to be on TV and pizza? Heck yeah.
Yeah, because they weren't even gorging. I mean, if you eat 3 slices,
they weren't eating fast.
Yeah.
One was wiping his mouth with a napkin. You know, the other one asked for oregano. I mean,
one was checking his TikTok feed.
Yeah.
Then basically it was an excuse to have some pizza because three slices, even if you're eating them fast, isn't really going to affect you too badly. But then they bring out Joey.
Yeah.
Joey, this is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Joey Chestnut against 4 other army guys.
He is not a good talker, Joey Chestnut.
He's not.
No,
and he's got those weird buck teeth like the squirrel.
He's got a very strong jaw because he's like, you know.
Joey Jaws,
yeah,
that's what they call him.
Yeah.
But his thing is, they have a hot dog eating competition. 5 minutes, how many hot dogs can you down?
Yes.
With the real, actual Joey Chestnut there.
Oh, and the upset was one of the guys, they thought he won the pizza thing, but he had dipped a slice of pizza in his water.
And it was still in the water.
Yeah.
You can dip it in the water, but you gotta eat it. Yeah,
of course
it was.
disgusting.
It's all disgusting. It's beautiful. And Joey, and this is magnificent.
Yeah, I agree.
Think of what we witnessed, because my wife and I were watching this live. They start the count, and the hot dogs are just like in Nathan's.
Yeah.
And there's Joey, and there's 4 guys from the army eating hot dogs really quickly.
Yeah. Oh, and then what it is the total of the hot dogs, the Impossible Meat Company multiplies by like 100,000.
Well, yeah, and again, it was for this charity.
Yeah.
For Fort Bliss and the families with soldiers.
I think it's not just for Bliss.
Oh,
I think it's for also. I think it's like a military charity thing where they help all families of all kind of people. Not
but you're
just
right. Impossible Meats.
Yeah.
So as a great promo idea.
Yeah.
So you know what? We'll spend the bucks. So they said for every hot dog that is down.
Because they didn't spend it on production.
Yeah, remember that? So you're right. First they started with a girl singing the national anthem.
Yeah.
And she was this classic like America's Got Talent, The Voice sort of. Everything's a fucking melisma.
The modulation.
Just sing the song.
Yeah, but it's hot there too. She might have been having a stroke. It's like it was 100 degrees.
Well, you know what? If it's hot and you're having a stroke, then don't extend all the vowels going,
I think she was auto-tuned. She was auto-tuned, probably.
No. She had a nice voice, but she was using it in the way that any Broadway coach should say, no. Sing the meaning of the song.
It was 115 degrees, and she's watching her roommates eat pizza. I mean, you know.
So this girl comes out and does like this annoyingly modern singing version of the Star Spangled Banner. They do the pizza competition, and then Joey's there with the hot dogs. They start the timer. The 4 army guys start eating the dogs. Joey does Joey.
Yeah.
And in 5 minutes,
yeah.
Okay, Joey beat the army guy. Understand this.
There are 4 of them?
The total of all 4 army
See, that
guys.
was smart. That was a smart setup. I thought that was
smart. Genius.
Fighting against one, all of them,
In other words, their total, not, he wasn't going up against, 1. Their total together
combined amount,
did not equal Joey's 57.
He had an axe to grind, and then the announcer said, oh, if you could have done the 10, you would have beat your record. But Joey said not necessarily, because you usually get the gusto in the beginning and then you trail off.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. In the Nathan's hot dog competition, which, by the way, the women, Mickey Sugo, World record, 51 dogs. God, yeah, go Mickey. I mean, she had a kid last year.
Yeah.
She's not even eating for two anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
She's not like a sparrow that's going to eat the dog and vomit it into her child's mouth. It's like she's a mama now.
Speaking of vomiting.
Oh, all right. Oh, yes. But I think,
Somebody made a TikTok account or some account of all the scenes of Nathan's, the whole Nathan's thing.
So here's the thing of the Nathan's competition, the men's. After Mickey Sugo polished off the women's and broke a record, God bless her, they bring in the new, and now we don't know who's going to win because Matt's, I think Jeffrey Esper's there. I don't know if Stoney was there. And this guy, Patrick Bertoletti.
Oh, God.
Patrick Bertoletti.
Oh, no, wait.
Is,
oh, no.
What happened?
No, I had the. Oh, God.
He is the new Nathan's hot dog eating champion by downing 58 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. Okay. Now, I mean, you couldn't do it. It's incredibly impressive, except for the fact that you remember that Joey, on a bad day, ate more than 60, and Mickey Sudo, and this is probably gender or sexist, whatever, she ate 51. Mm-hmm. He ate only 7 more dogs than she did in 10 minutes.
Champion. She's a return.
Yeah, but I mean, you figure that they separate women's golf.
If you go here, they have the winners. You could. This is Mickey Sudo, and she has.
Let me show.
And this is the.
Here. All right, we can. Yeah, there's sort of a collage.
No, don't show the first one. That's the.
Oh, well, you can barely see the.
Here, I'll get it for you. Want me to get it?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
You want the men or the women? Oh wait.
Well, show the women first because we talked about Mickey Sugo, deservedly winning. I mean, she is the goat of women eaters right now, or ever. I don't think there were women eating contests even 15 years ago. So we good? Here we go. So this is it's this video. Cool.
Yeah.
So this is
Mickey Sudo.
Where is she? Oh, I see her. She's all the way over here. I think she's already winning here, or she
won.
Yeah, she's just talking to some other eater.
Put the volume on?
No, because I don't know who owns this copyright on this material.
Okay.
So, but in the men's, and this is the shocking thing for me. Remember that Joey, at this other competition on the same day, in horrible Texas heat, by the way, and yes, horrible Coney Island heat in New York as well, but ate 58 or 57 dogs in 5 minutes. The guy, Patrick Bertoletti at Nathan's, ate 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Which means that, yes, Joey, they always slow down.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The video has 2.1 billion.
Of course, a billion?
Million.
Well, the guy, in other words, even if Joey would have slowed down in the last couple of minutes, even if he'd slowed his pace and just had to wipe his brow and just like, I need to breathe, I need to whatever, even then, he needed to consume only 2 more hot dogs in 5 minutes to beat Patrick Bertoletti at Nathan's. Now, maybe the Nathan's hot dogs are longer or bigger than the ones that they were doing at, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The physicality.
More difficult? I don't know. Maybe the whole scene at Nathan's is so much more fraught that it's I don't know. All I know is Joey really was on pace to break his own world record. And he wouldn't, and even if he had slowed down, he was on pace to do like 80 dogs.
We don't know.
Easily.
It could have been.
I mean, technically, he was on pace to eat 114, but it wouldn't happen. But that is the only real tragic part. That had Joey been in that condition at Nathan's yesterday, I thought he was going downhill. I thought Joey had seen his prime and was slowly coming down. Joey was totally at his peak.
But this was his revenge thing too, so we wanted to show him. Why don't you show your friend?
Yeah. Well, also at Nathan's,
It's the top one. You see this one? You just click it. It's the first green
before the hot dog competition, there was a lemon.
one. And the Badlands guy won.
No. I just wish I could stop him and start him over again. Here he is.
Okay.
There was a lemonade drinking competition.
Yeah, a gallon.
By the gallon.
No, it was 1 gallon, the fastest drinking of the gallon.
Yeah. So they did this, and who's a large African American? Badlands. He's a monster. He does it. He chug-a-lug.
He did it, but on the way out, he touched that guy.
Another competitor, a large white guy with tits and a mohawk, also participating in the Kool-Aid and in the in the lemonade drinking competition.
You can restart it, you know.
Yeah. And he made it through.
It did not go well.
The competition, but he didn't feel too well when it was over. Let me push the triangle by his head. Yeah. This is what happened.
Wait, there's more. Oh!
Yeah. Oh, he was.
Oh God! He's just. And then they let him there, like, get him off the stage. Oh God! You get him off the stage.
I could watch that
again. He's like, hey, get off the stage. He's like,
we can't
and he's still vomiting as he goes off the stage. Wait, listen. He's still vomiting, see? He's still doing it.
Yeah, well, he drank a gallon. Actually, you know the messed up thing?
What?
His pitcher was still almost full.
Oh God! What do you think happened?
Yeah, like 2 o'clock because it's hot here. Here he is again. Here he goes again. We're gonna watch this one more time.
You narrate.
Yeah, you feeling okay, champ? You go. Oh. All right, just aim away from the other. Yeah, no, if you cannot bring it back into
a full picture and he's vomiting that much.
That's what I don't get. Oh.
I think he has heat stroke. Where do you vomit? I'm gonna look it up when you're done and see what makes you vomit. I mean, but he still vomits when he's off stage. Like.
Yeah, I didn't realize he's still.
And he's still vomiting as he walks.
He didn't even drink that. He's vomiting yesterday's lemonade.
Let me look up why.
Yeah.
I'm very curious as to.
Isn't that the most beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen? Oh.
I don't understand it. Like, okay, vomiting. Let me say.
Well, I think sun. I think
someone said, "Oh, this is bad." Airsoft. Oh, I can't see this.
But yeah, I forget the poor guy's name. I'm sure he's fine today. But yeah, that is the thing that you don't see at these eating competitions. There's buckets near these. He should have used it. Here he is again. Here he is.
That's a different. That looks like a
different
professional
angle.
View. Yeah. Oh God.
They're like, yeah, could you just aim for the bucket, please? All right, no, aim for the stairs. Yeah.
Oh, God. What makes you vomit, though? I want to understand that.
Well, do you remember?
Here, let me see.
Is that guy wearing the yarmulke? Do you remember when we've told this story?
Oh, yes, you had that.
I went
to. You or Nihal?
Yeah. Well, no, we had gone to a concert.
Oh, the guy Badlands Booker.
Badlands Booker is the guy who won the lemonade competition.
Oh God! Somebody asked, "What are the rules for vomiting after Nathan's hot dog contest?"
What? It counts. You ate it.
They said, and keeping them down because vomiting is an automatic disqualification.
No.
Yeah, the guy was disqualified.
Oh, that's adding insult to literal injury.
That is insult to injury. That is.
How is vomiting disqualified?
They keep showing this. Bro threw up the second title was over, and they tried to get him get off the thing, and he didn't go.
Well, if you're in
this disgusting moment, Nathan's contestant projectile barbs all over the stage. God.
It's not as horrible as vomiting hot dogs, though. It's water.
Container. It says.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand how he didn't drink anything.
I know his pitcher was mostly.
What makes someone projectile vomit in heat? Oh, exhaustion or heat stroke. Vomiting. Maybe he had that. It says heat exhaustion, food poisoning, heat stroke, cyclic vomiting syndrome.
Oh.
I used to vomit like that with migraine, but I didn't. Stomach virus. Maybe he flew in on Delta. He's like, I'm so happy I made it. That chicken was delicious.
We do have bags in front of this.
I wonder what happened to him. I'm going to ask.
What's his name? Yeah.
What happened to the lemonade contestant for Nathan's that was vomiting on the stage? Is he okay? It just talks about, like...
Yeah.
It doesn't even give his name. It's just as a participant. It says, lemonade continued to vomit at the exit of the stage. Oh, my God. But it doesn't say who it is.
Yeah, that's weird. It was probably introduced, he must have been, in the first, hour or before they even did the women's eating. That probably was at, 9 o'clock in the morning, I'll bet. Maybe. I don't know at what point. Or maybe they do it at 11:30.
The hot dog eating contest was delayed because of that. They had to clean it.
So, yeah, it was probably the women's eating, then the men's lemonade. And men's lemonade, which should have only taken about 5 minutes.
It doesn't say who. Let me see.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. Okay. Who was the man that vomited lemonade during the Nathan's Lemonade Chugathon? It says it says a moment of celebration turned grotesque when they don't say contestant.
How do they? What is he underage? Why can't they give his name?
No, they don't say.
He was 14 years old.
They just say Badlands. That's the Eric Badlands Booker.
Yeah. The king, the champ.
They don't. They just call him a contestant. They don't say who.
Why?
Nathan's chugging contest in horrifying fashion.
It would have been funnier, though, if he'd been drinking chocolate milk. That would have been really hysterical.
They don't say who it is.
Huh. I don't get it. I guess ESPN could go back and roll through the tapes of the introductions.
But they had to sign a release, right?
Yeah. Let me ask, who were the contestants in 2024's?
Who were the contestants of 2024's Nathan's Lemonade Chugging Contest? Who were the contestants in the 2024 Nathan's Lemonade Chugging Contest? Hot dog. They just have that disgusting one.
Yeah, nobody even cares about them. Nobody even talks.
Introducing. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's an Instagram thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look. Okay, it's not him.
Well, that's Booker.
Let's go through. That's Booker. Let's go through.
Yeah. Who is that?
I don't know who these people are. Is that him?
That might be him.
Airsoft Fatty. That's what they call him, yeah.
Well, yeah. His name is Christopher.
Lafon, let's see.
That's not him. No, it's Christopher Lafon. It's got to be.
Okay, so
Christopher Lafon. I hope you're okay.
Fatty is his name. Christopher Lafon, Airsoft Fatty.
Oh, yeah. That's him.
Okay.
Is he okay? Is that a new? Did he tape something after he vomited to say "I'm all right, folks"?
Oh, he's wearing the Nathan's outfit.
With pride. I don't think Nathan's really wants to do that. maybe. No, Chris, it's okay. It's okay. Well, why don't you wear the Kentucky Fried Chicken uniform? Yeah.
But the one, the only Airsoft Fatty.
He does have nice boobs. I gotta give him that. Is he flexing? What is he doing there? Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, plenty of us, yeah. But that's he actually kind of talks like a chicken.
Airsoft Fatty is his name?
Airsoft Fatty, who is not the GOAT, not the greatest of all time, but certainly a premier. Actually, wouldn't you love to see a vomiting competition?
Oh, he's got a want to see his LinkedIn?
Yeah, let's see it.
Facebook?
Because when he goes up for a job, and he wants potential employers to look at his LinkedIn page, I think he wants them to see participated in 2021 Nathan's
I wonder if that
Lemonade.
was part of a joke. That's his Nathan's eating profile.
Yeah. Well, why is it part of a joke? He's an eater. Obviously, he's an eater.
No, but he's a comedian and stuff. Like,
Oh, is he really?
Comedian, content creator, vlogger, yeah.
Oh, so maybe he was doing it. He thought he could get away with it.
But I don't know how you make yourself. As
He
somebody,
can make himself vomit.
No, as somebody who's vomited a lot, like you can't force yourself. If he forced himself to do that, that's like amazing.
Well, I mean, lots of 15-year-old girls force themselves to vomit all the time.
Oh God.
What?
He's
yeah. Christopher Lafon. I am not Christopher Lafon.
He's 27.
Yeah. He keeps eating like that. He'll join the 27 club. I'll tell you.
Well, I don't know why he vomited. I think it must have been heat.
Well, it's hot. We don't see that. They don't show that on ESPN or the highlight reels when people eating 17 hot dogs in 4 minutes.
It says here, Christopher Lafon, better known as online as Airsoft Fatty, is an American YouTube vlogger and comedian. He is most known for drinking a giant blue jug, which people called it a real big shield from Fortnite. And he's also known from Star Wars video. I don't know. You would think that he would have better.
Well, he's obviously not number one.
No.
He probably is going to make a couple of number twos. I'll tell you that.
He's in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh. Well, what else is there to do in Grand Rapids besides, eat and drink to excess? But he should probably stick to Diet Sprite.
That was horrible. Oh. And they're drinking on a non-carbonated beverage. So, like, I can see if you're drinking carbonation, it would make you sick.
But sugar, maybe all that sugar in the sun. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But thank you, Christopher. Thank you all the people who created a really delightful July 4th experience. I mean, as much as I really wish Nathan's had patched things up with Joey, because we would have seen most likely another world record, and that didn't happen. But at least we got one eating competition and
here he
Fort
is
Bliss and this guy.
Before he vomited, he was happy.
Dancing with a happy hot dog man.
He was happy. See, look, going on there, he's happy.
Yeah.
What happened to him? In a matter of minutes, he went from being okay to like.
Well, hon, that's everybody.
Oh,
anytime you've ever felt sick, you didn't feel sick 10 minutes earlier, and then suddenly, boom.
He's up there. See, he's up there.
He's up there, yeah. Well, you can't miss him, can you? This was the scene. Classic scene at Nathan's. There he is. They're drinking. This is where they're drinking. And he's trying. I think he's already starting. Oh, all right. He's guzzling. No, he's not doing well.
No, he's drinking. He's drinking it.
Oh, and Booker just finished. And now Booker's watching his friend, and they're backing away from him. He's like, oh no. And there he goes, ladies and gentlemen.
Why would they have buckets for them?
They do. They have, but if you're somebody
could have held a bucket up to him.
Yeah.
I understand he can't hold a bucket because he's vomiting, but somebody else could have held the bucket up from him for him.
Yeah, true. Although by the time you realize somebody's in the midst, you figure, okay, he's done. Oh no, he's not done. All right, now he's done.
That's horrible. I wonder if he did it as a joke.
Just to get on the stage and maybe the joke's on him. As is the Country Time Weiler's, Nathan's Country Time Lemonade is.
Yeah, I wonder whose lemonade it is. You think that's Nathan's lemonade he vomited?
I think Nathan's would be saying that we make our, whether it's actual real with lemons, but Nathan's would say this is ours. Yeah. Not the best advertisement for it, I'll tell you.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's more famous today than he was in all the other years of his life. Mm-hmm. So let's give him that. I don't know.
Yeah, but what's he famous for? Like, I don't think you want to be famous for that.
If you are a comedian, if you are not really...
But would you want to be famous for, like, projectile vomiting? They had to clean the contest after you left?
Yeah, I wouldn't want that one necessarily.
I would not want that to be my, like, epitaph.
Hon, you're talking to a man who did an off-Broadway show.
Oh, yes. Tell people.
About having a bad day in the theater. Having a bad day in which I don't want to give the plot away of the miracle of Long John's, but let's just say the Long Johns were miraculous that night in helping me out.
You didn't do it in public. This was public.
Of course it was in public.
You were in a bathroom where you should have been.
No. The first part of it I was not.
But nobody could see it.
No.
They could
smell it.
Yeah, but it's not like you put your tushy up and start pooping like a fountain on people.
No.
That would have been the equivalent.
However, let's remember that when I went to use their bathroom, where the toilet, you don't remember the show, the toilet didn't work.
You were like a whirling dervish of poo,
Yeah.
I mean, we call it Cole's bathroom poo.
Something that should have been clean. Not.
Oh.
So.
But you tell the story of you and Nihal we went to one cafe.
Yeah, you tell.
So, we like to have pastries. So we have coffee and tea and a little pastry, and we all split it. And then we decide, you know what, let's spend an hour and a half watching klezmer music in the park. And let's spend another hour waiting online because David wants to get the signature of the...
I wanted the klezmer band to sign the CD.
Yeah. And then let's walk behind a nice young couple on their first date where the girl's wearing a white little dress, like a summer dress.
Yep.
Yeah, and then what does David decide?
Well, also, I think
you had
were we at Serendipities? I think, and I had an ice cream.
It
was a Cafe Mozart, and I had an ice cream soda something.
No, you didn't. You had a cake. You had cake.
Just
and coffee.
cake?
Yes.
Cake and coffee did this?
Yes.
But
it was made by Delta.
So we were sitting in the hot sun watching this band. It was outdoor concert of the New Orleans Klezmer Orchestra.
Yes.
Who, by the way, their CD that I did get became the theme music for Rabbi Saul Solomon's TV show. But so we're saying they were really good.
Some people.
And we're walking out of the concert after, and also out waiting in the sun for 20 minutes to get their autographs on the CD. And then, I don't know if that's one of the CDs we kept.
Yeah.
It is? Oh, good. When we moved from Colorado, we gave away so much of our stuff. But, and we're walking. And I was feeling fine. This is the thing. I was feeling fine.
Oh, yes.
And then suddenly.
She had explosive diarrhea. She had to find a restroom.
We both had that too.
And then she went, I told her, because I worked with homeless people, I'm like, don't use an outhouse, don't use a porta potty in the middle of Central Park because it's going to be a homeless person's house.
Yeah, but we were desperate.
And she opened it up.
And there was a homeless guy in the porta potty, yeah. So we were both... We were both desperate to shit, but it was beyond it. The first thing I was like, felt a little sweaty, and then
projectile vomited on that girl's white dress.
Chocolate cake and coffee, which looked like blood. Dude.
And what G said, something like, David, are you okay? Do you need anything? Want you to get in the shade? Trying to be all, medical. And she goes, I thought it was blood. I was like, if it was blood, why didn't you help out? He's like, he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. He's just vomiting blood. No, it was chocolate cake and coffee mixed together.
Well, I live with somebody who had GERD, and she used to eat coffee ice cream at night, and she would vomit and think it was blood, and it was coffee ice cream. So
How would she not realize?
Well, I was prepped by knowing that, so I wasn't so scared when you did it because I had.
But I did feel bad because there was a young couple walking in front of us, and I think I got her on the sleeve, on the shoulder.
She had a little cute dress. You vomited
on her
dress.
Wasn't that cute?
It was a white dress with chocolate milk. Yeah. Not good.
And then we were on one side of Central Park, and we couldn't use the porta potties because they were dangerous. We couldn't find them, so we had to walk almost a fucking mile.
Yeah. We walked from the west side of the park. All the way to the east side, through the park, and down to York Avenue to go to Rockefeller. Yeah, just to get to a toilet, where we finally did, and we were okay. But that was a fun afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Worth every minute. But it's true. You think you're okay, and in moments, yeah. I see that. So here was a guy. He was drinking lemonade quickly. And then you would think, how bad could that be? Well. Apparently bad. Maybe I think he had heat stroke. That would be my thing. So did I probably. Or maybe he could have been if he drank alcohol or something. You probably had heat stroke.
From being
No, but
in the sun.
I don't think so. I think our friend
was
had
food
it because
poisoning.
she had that egg allergy,
Yeah.
where she eats eggs and it gets her sick. But I think you both probably ate the same thing that got you sick.
So maybe it was food
Yeah.
poisoning combined with the sun, combined with everything,
Something
whatever
that
it
you
was.
both ate at that place.
Because we wouldn't have been dehydrated because we're drinking water and coffee.
I think it was probably food poisoning because you both got sick.
Yeah.
One person I'd say is heat stroke, or if it was heat stroke, we all would have got it. But me and Jile were okay. I think what happened was you guys probably had the same.
We had a bad cake.
Or you ate the same, yeah.
And that did it to us. So Cafe Mozart. No, this is many years ago. I'm sure the food there is fine, but not that day. No, it's still there. Is Cafe Mozart still there?
Look, I don't know. Yeah.
It was right by. But that would have been by Lincoln Center.
Cafe Mozart, New York City. No, it was near the park. Look.
Well,
it was West 70th. Look.
That makes sense. It would have been near the park. And it closed. Yeah, well. Let's see some of those Yelp reviews for the late, not so lamented Cafe Mozart, which closed I don't know how long ago. Let's see. Oh, it's on. Come on. Where's the... I don't also to consider. 39 reviews. Let's see. I think I have to log in to see. Oh, wait. A nice hangout on this is going back to a Yelp review from 18 years ago. A nice hangout in the Upper West Side. Let's see the read. It's so damn difficult just to read the things that you want to freaking read. Let's see the bad reviews. Touted as a cozy European. You have to sign in if you want to read more. So
that's okay.
You only get like 1 or 2 sentences. It's not worth it. So anyway, you're watching Dave's Gone By.
Oh, I had the carrot cake and it had a freshness issue. Not the best carrot cake.
Yeah. But most of the reviews are like 3 and 4 stars, so it's really not bad. But they're also 15, 20 years old. So I don't know how long ago the Cafe Mozart closed.
Yeah, probably a long time.
Now it's the Cafe Schoenberg, or Berg.
It looked good. I guess maybe we know
The
why.
Cafe Stockhausen. Anyway.
It was just awful.
We got so much more stuff to do on this episode of Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife, and all of you watching at home, because we still have Greeley Times to do. We've got our Bunion Watch. We've got Storytime with Rabbi Saul talking about octopi, and our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we're going to Alkire Estates, Colorado, for a poem. And most of all, we have an interview with John Jiler, playwright and novelist, and the performer and writer of a new piece called Rosenberg Strange Fruit Project that is happening starting this week at 59E59 Theaters off Broadway. He'll be here to talk about that in just a little while longer. But I think we should get to one of our signature segments on the show, which is one of my favorites because I don't have to do any actual work. All the material is, well, technically it's compiled by the police, but then it goes to the newspaper for a column that in the Greeley Tribune they call Cop Log. And what it is phone calls that come into the police stations in and around Greeley, Colorado. Now, these aren't the really scary ones of like, oh, somebody's being murdered or there's a drug deal. This is more like somebody sees something weird in the neighborhood, they call the cops, they talk to the dispatcher, and it's like something crazy, ridiculous, and funny. The Trib, God bless them, they put this in the paper every week, stripped of the identifiers, and then we find the funniest ones of those and share them with you. They call it Cop Log, we call it Greeley Times. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Greeley Times on this Saturday, July 6th, 2024. So, yes, and by the way, I got to really thank Chris Boland and the folks over at the Greeley Tribune for keeping this column going, because it's so much fun. And they've made it a paywall thing on the Greeley Tribune website. It's worth getting and subscribing to the Tribune to be able to even read this once a week. A caller on 4th Street said that a goose and its babies were walking.
They took our garbage. I looked at the jingle hopper.
They still or they haven't?
I don't know if they have.
Well, they probably got a late start because of the holidays. Because a caller on 4th Street said, "Oh, there's a caller. I'll get the octophone." Is it this? Yes, this tentacle. Okay. A caller said that a goose and its babies
Oh.
were walking along, and the babies fell in a manhole.
God.
Police suggested the caller, quote, "let nature take its course." Well, yeah, it was an actual manhole. Yeah, shall we say a dead duck? Yeah. But you would figure they could see.
I mean,
there's
there's
just
going to be an open manhole cover.
waddling
That
along.
seems
Yeah.
like a prank.
Oh, how do you open a manhole cover? How do you? I'll get the other octa. Where are you calling? Oh, calling from a recreation center on 65th Avenue.
Ooh.
Reported a patron joking that he had a gun in his backpack. Hilarious. Ha ha ha. If my trainer makes me do one more Russian twist.
It probably was something like that. I refuse. Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have any other calls? Oh, we do. I'll get it on this side. Yeah. Oh, we gotta throw that one out. There we go. A caller at a coffee shop on 16th Street said a machine in the store started by itself. The caller wanted officers to make sure that nobody was in the store.
But they're in the store.
Well, besides them. I mean, no, imagine you're in a place, everything's supposedly off for the night, you come in, and it says like,
Why would somebody be grinding coffee?
Well, wouldn't you love an AI Keurig?
Somebody left something on, probably.
Yeah. We're probably only a couple of years away from just being able to say, "Hey, Keurig."
No, but that's smart home. We have it now, where you could smart home everything. Yeah.
Or even 25 years ago, you could get a Proctor Silex coffee maker with a timer, and in the morning it starts. Oh! I'll get this one. I get the mop phone for. Yeah.
Oh, is it a messy one?
A caller at an apartment complex. So you need something big like a mop here. 31st Street Road. Now this could have been chocolate milk because they said that there was, quote, blood all over the walls of the stairwell.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but the real estate agent showing the home around said that's adding character.
Yes, you can easily fix that. A coat of paint. No one.
Yeah,
will.
no.
Wow, could you imagine?
It's art.
No,
yeah.
that's scary though.
Yeah, if you saw blood on the walls of an apartment complex.
Like if you see poo-poo in a bathroom, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you see
blood on the stairway walls.
I told you when I was playing the onions, the coagulation of the onion, the red onions, it looked like coagulated blood. And
But it wasn't. It was onion.
But I was on the phone with Mom, and I'm like, it's all over my hands, but I'm not bleeding. I thought I was cut. And it was the coagulated onions. So maybe you could use a coagulated onion in like shows and stuff.
Oh.
Instead of ketchup, yeah.
Well, except that would smell even
it does
worse
smell bad,
and
yeah.
stay on your
It
fingers.
does smell bad,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, we're not going to use coagulated onion.
I tried.
That'd be a really, really bad name for a band, too. The coagulated onion. Oh, my God. I don't know if... Keep ringing, because I don't know if this is the octopus or the mop.
Here?
Oh! Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. A caller at a fast food restaurant.
Oh, there you go. Makes sense. He's eating.
Chompy.
Where's the other?
He's in there somewhere. Or I may have put him, because things were starting not to fit in there, so I moved a few things. But this is from a fast food restaurant over on 11th Avenue in Greeley. Said a man exposed himself to her and drove off.
Wait.
Well, I wonder if he had a Big Mac. Well, at least he drove off rather than jerked.
I hope nothing was supersized. What's it called? The combo, the jumbo meal?
At least there wasn't Nathan's and a hot dog. I tell you, oh, I'll get the mop on this one. A caller at a retail store on 23rd Avenue said that someone hit his truck in the parking lot. That person just left a note and said, quote, "Learn how to park." It's like, it's your fault.
Wow.
Your fault. It's like, I'm driving.
Maybe they were writing to themselves, you know.
Oh, maybe.
Like,
maybe.
I need to learn how to park.
Textbook definition of adding insult to
Yeah.
injury. Well, remember 2 weeks ago, we were in the parking lot at Hunt Valley.
Oh, explain it. Yeah, I saw part of it.
You're sitting in the car. I go off to buy you some iced tea.
Yeah.
And I'm walking through the parking lot.
Iced tea without ice.
Iced tea without ice, or, well, with a little honey in it. But I'm going through this parking lot, and there's this car coming slowly down the aisle, and then a woman backing out from her spot. So the car stops, and she stops. And then, well,
and she goes. He stops. And
he stops.
She
goes. Yeah. Oh, she was in this car.
Up. You said she put her hands up or something.
That was it. She was in this car.
Yeah.
He was in the spot.
I think they both worked they worked there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. So they both stopped. They both saw each other. They both realized, oh, I've got to stop. She's coming out. So they both stop immediately.
Yeah.
And then the girl who had stopped goes
drove into
and she doesn't even turn the wheel to get away. She literally
goes
into him.
I think what happens was she had her foot on the brake and she let her foot off the brake or something.
Oh, maybe. Or she meant to. I don't know what she meant to do.
She did brake and gas wrong or something,
Because she panicked and she went into his side. Yeah. So, and I heard the crunch. I was like, oh, shit, you know. Because I don't want to be a witness in a court case. It's like, whose fault?
I don't even think they exchanged insurance. Like, I think they knew each other from working in there because they seemed to like know each other. They were blah, 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 and then they didn't exchange numbers or anything. So maybe, who knows? But I was, oh, come on, you both stopped. You were both fine. Yeah. How did this happen? One goes, and then he didn't even go. She just went into him. All right, another call. Okay, I'll get the teeth. Ah, la 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 la. This is from a music store. Oh, wow.
On 17th Street. I think we know that store.
Oh, wait, here we go.
It's the think method. All right. The caller at the music store said a woman was going from business to business asking for money. The caller said the woman got angry with employees because they wouldn't give her any money. It would be weird if she got angry at them if they did give her money. There's nothing weird about that.
At least you didn't projectile vomit. You got to be thankful for the little things. That's disgusting.
Well, yeah, in a music store, absolutely. All right, let's go. I'm going to keep that phone on hold for a moment because it's time for an elsewhere.
Oh.
I mean, they have phones in other countries, but they sound different. They go like. Oh. There's a call all the way from Gay Paris.
Oh, God.
We're going to Paris.
We just had that discussion about the pain chocolat or the chocolate croissant and what they call it. Yeah.
Well, this is all about or coming from Paris, where the Olympic I forgot about the Olympic Games are going to be happening in like 2 weeks, right?
Oh, wow.
So this is a story about the Olympic Games in Paris. And it's a story that was published in USA Today. Because we do an elsewhere story that isn't from Colorado. Yeah. This is from Paris. The 2024 Paris Olympic Games are on their way, and it has been 100 years since the last Paris Olympics. Now, some are worried that outside factors may taint this year's contest. Taint being the operative term. And it's got nothing to do with political stuff or anything like that. Some of the problems facing this year's Olympics in France include lack of air conditioning in the Olympic Village during hot summer temperatures.
That's not good.
Small cardboard beds for athletes.
Well, they always say that the beds are...
They're supposed to be there for a week and a half. If it stays up, what's the problem? But most of all, ladies and gentlemen, the Paris poop protest. This is where individuals who are against the games plan to defecate in the Seine River.
What?
Okay, we're going to unpack these one by one. First, let's talk about the air conditioning. It's not frugality. This isn't about the French being like, well, we don't want to pay for the air. It's that Paris officials, is that the, yeah, hold on.
That's disgusting.
Paris officials want to be eco-focused. They want to minimize carbon emissions from the event. So they have their own cooling system that they think is going to work and keep temperatures at like 70 degrees.
Okay.
But pretty much every country is bringing its own air conditioner to the Olympic Village. So it's like BYOAC. Yeah.
What are you bringing? Oh, I'm bringing my own internal air conditioning unit.
Yeah.
A few electricians.
So that will really help lower the carbon footprint by everybody bringing their own air conditioner instead of Paris having, central AC.
They should make some kind of ban on it.
And as for the eco-friendly beds, the mattresses will be made from recycled fishing nets.
Oh boy.
While the bases will be reinforced cardboard.
Oh nice.
As long as
like
it's comfortable.
IKEA. It's like IKEA.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
But now I will reward your patience, ladies and gentlemen. The now famed poop protest can be traced back to original reports from the water charity Surfrider Foundation Europe. They tested the Seine River water multiple times from September of last year to March of this year. The results revealed a high level of bacteria. However, French President Emmanuel Macron and the mayor of Paris, Anne Hidalgo, claim that the Seine is safe enough to swim in, which has been met by skepticism by everyone else.
Oh boy.
So residents of Paris who are increasingly dissatisfied with the ongoing river pollution are now considering drastic measures.
Oh boy.
As a protest,
Yeah.
they're determined to stage a mass defecation.
Oh.
This, even though the French government apparently invested $1.5 billion in cleaning the river, so their way of helping clean the water is by shitting themselves in the water. It's like magnificent. It's like, I guess they want to say, like, you will be forced to close the river off or clean it if we make it worse. I don't know. I honestly, this is mind-boggling to me, not to mention the logistics of like 1,000 people.
He's just talking.
Wrong.
What did he say?
Is it if you try to do something else or something different from anybody else? Doesn't that feel great?
Care is one way to show your love. Another way is letting people take good care of you.
Another way is pooping in the river.
In the river.
Read what I gave you on the phone.
Yeah, but I mean, think about this. Aggressive and creative protesting.
How do you poop on demand though? That's what I'm.
Well, you can hold it in and
That's
get people.
amazing. If they can poop on demand, that's even more impressive to me.
So it was supposed to be June 23rd, where that was when the mayor and the president were supposed to swim in the river.
Oh, that's
Then we're going to all go in and shit in the river. Take me to the river. Pooping in the water. Yeah. But anyway, we'll see how that turns out. So that's our one elsewhere. Let's do one more.
When are
Really
the Olympics? 25?
No, this is the thing. The Olympics are going to be in a week or two.
Oh, wow.
Every 4 years. This is the 4 years. I forgot even.
Yeah.
Who's even paying attention to the regular?
I hope nobody poops. I hope they don't poop in the water.
Me too. I mean, honestly.
I understand why they want to. I get that there was another, where did we see it? There was another race where it was a triathlon. Remember we saw that and they were saying that the E. coli levels were too high and that
Athletes were getting sick.
Yeah, they were getting sick. So I mean, I think there's a value of like, you don't want another.
Well, you know what? You do what they do in Chicago on St. Patrick's Day. You get non-toxic, non-whatever dye, maybe brown dye.
Ugh.
Well, yeah, but you put that in the completely,
it's
just color, food coloring, right? So it's really, but it's totally safe. It doesn't kill fish. It doesn't do anything. It's just, food coloring, fine. Yeah, well, the French. Anywho, let's do one more Greeley time. Oh, here we go. I'll get the mop phone on this.
Oh, good.
A caller on 24th Street Road said that someone knocked on her garage door. And she was worried because her husband had just been exposed to nuclear radiation and he wasn't supposed to be around anyone.
Oh, wow.
And now it occurs to me probably he's getting cancer treatment or something like that.
No, nuclear radiation?
Isn't that what they do?
Yeah, but I would think if the person would say chemo radiation, nuclear radiation?
Well,
nuclear's like Chernobyl.
Right, I know. But
that's what I'm thinking.
Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like he was working in a nuclear plant and they had oops.
No, I think it's just she's having a bad mental health day.
Oh, that could be too.
I think that's it.
Well, anyway, we're declaring the nuclear option on this segment, Greeley Times, on Dave's Gone By.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
Oh, he was not.
I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee, yippee, yippee.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the 951st episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream, with me, Dave Lefkowitz, all of you watching at home, Melvin G. Mintz watching from the wall, and because Rabbi Sal Solomon will be with us in a little while, we also, of course, have the Lubavitcher Rebbe. We've got Pooey up there serving us a bird. I thought it'd be pretty.
It's beautiful color.
Oh, actually, we lost one, didn't we?
What?
Didn't we lose?
No.
Didn't one fall down? Oh, I just lowered the desk, so you don't see it on the... Die! Die! Anywho, so here's the deal.
Oh, we gotta get you inner souls today.
Yeah, we can try it.
Yeah.
I mean, so here's the deal. I bought a new pair. My wife and I together bought me a new pair of shoes.
Big boy shoes.
And we can have, nice. They're not really fancy shoes, but they're fancier than the sneakers I wear.
Yeah.
Just in case I get a real job someday. And fall is coming. Classes to be taught. So I'm going to get a nice pair of comfy shoes. And I love the idea of Skechers. That you slip your foot in. You don't need a shoehorn.
I'll show you.
You don't even have to deal with Velcro. And I love Velcro. You can just put your foot in.
Yes.
And the shoe stays on. And it kind of fits. And I have one of these Skechers, and it's great. And then we bought another pair, and it's a little big. It feels okay, but my heel comes out of it a little bit. It hasn't quite conformed to my foot yet. So we bought this heel thing.
Skechers men's slip-on shoes.
In Walgreens, where you can put it like against the heel, so it not only stops rubbing, but it also makes the shoe a little tighter around your foot. And I thought it would work great, except it felt fine, and then it moved a little bit, and then got stuck to the bottom of my sock. And when I tried to peel it off my sock, it came out in bits. So, piece of shit. So, we may try something else, or I'll just wait until the shoe really, truly conforms to my messed up, bunion-y feet. But speaking of my messed up, bunion-y feet, and the reason I'm talking to you like this is because this is Bunion Watch. This is where you get to see the size and condition of my bunions, ladies and gentlemen. We've been doing this for months, since last fall, essentially. It was just before I started teaching last time. Bunion Watch. I'm going to take off my sock and share for all of you the size, shape, color, dimensionality of my bunion. Oh, wait, I gotta play the music. I've got to play the all-important Bunion Watch theme music. Where is it? Why, it's here.
She's Bunion, she really is a good one, she's Bunion. Listen, doctor, to my plea, it's time for bunionectomy. Bunions, they're a pain in the feet. Feet of mine have got to go, please get these bunions off my toes.
All right, so we got our Bunion Watch, ladies and gentlemen. So out. So even though I needed or tried that little. This isn't the heel. What is above the heel? That's the What is that? What is that part
I don't know
called?
what it's called. Your ankle, but it's not really.
It's near the ankle. What's behind the ankle? What do they call that?
What's the part of the foot that's above the heel but before the ankle? The talus.
Oh, really?
Ankle bone?
Rabbi Saul would love that. Well, talus is the bone.
Anatomy of the foot.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's this part. So I had that there.
It is. Look.
It is the talus. I love it. So as Rabbi Saul would say, I was wearing my talus or wearing something over my talus, and it just didn't work. But here's my right foot bunion in all its beautiful glory. Let's get some real some light on that, or some visual. Look how it's glowing. It's like the guy who got radiated. Look how beautiful. That's again, thank goodness my bunions don't hurt, and that's a major thing, and they have not changed color. It's hard to see in this light, but it's pink and rosy. I'll show you my other, my left foot bunion, which is smaller, also not painful. Now this one's in the sock. I'm going to keep it in the sock, just for relief. It almost looks like a Kilimanjaro snowy mountain against the grayness of the pillow. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. That is my bunion. Those are my bunion eye.
I'm glad you don't have pain.
Thank you, dear. I'm glad I don't have pain either. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Bunion Watch for this Saturday, July 6th, 2024, here in the Daverhood with me, Dave Lefkowitz. And want to remind you, we talked about it before. The archives of the show are on davesgoneby.com. Oh, people are giving me love. Yay.
Naomi said it's called the Achilles tendon.
Right, the Achilles, sure. But because the Achilles heel, it must be the heel. But thank you, Naomi. Yes, the Achilles tendon. And I do have a tendency to talk about my bunions. That's terrible.
Oh, she said,
Uh-oh.
She said, fascinating bunions, show us more. Not.
Oh, thank you. Not. Oh, aren't we talking like a 17-year-old? Show us more. Not. These are I am sharing with you the most personal things of my life and my body, ladies and gentlemen. The condition of my weird feet, to bring it to you and you go, let us see more. Not. Well,
maybe for some people, some people love the feet, some people dislike feet. It's very, very particular.
And some people go down to defeat. But
It's either the victory or the defeat.
Well, don't turn out, Naomi, because we now have probably the most important part of this program. Yeah. We have an interview, a wonderful interview coming with a playwright and a novelist, a guy named John Jiler. John is the co-author of the musical Avenue X that played a couple of decades ago, but it was kind of a hit.
But in Colorado, she's watching at 8, almost 9 o'clock.
Which means she was probably tuning in at 6:30 or 7. Thank you, Naomi.
That's dedication.
You bet. And give our love to Rabbi Sarah and all the other folks at the temple out there. So, yes, where John Jiler has a new show out, a show that he stars in and also wrote, that they're doing at 59 E59 Theaters in Manhattan, over on 59 East 59th Street. And the show is called The Rosenberg/Strange Fruit Project. So if you know Julius Ethel Rosenberg, and you know the song Strange Fruit that Billie Holiday made famous, you might be wondering, well, what connection do they have?
Yes.
Playwright John Jiler is going to tell you. He's also going to tell you about some of the other stuff he's written, including novels, and his life as a writer. He's a great guy, fascinating gentleman. Unfortunately, I did not get to interview him. I didn't get to talk to him. Rabbi Saul Solomon did. So let me share my screen so we can get to Rabbi Saul momentarily. Let me just pull that down. Let me pull that down. I guess I can kill that. And what else do I need to pull down? All right, this. And okay, now share the screen. and open this up for Rabbi Saul Solomon. He's the founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. Come on, fella. Let's open that puppy up. Hello. There we go.
Can you tell me?
Yeah.
Naomi just said love to you two. We'll send love to her for you.
Yes. I said give love to Rabbi Sarah.
Oh. Okay. Oh, you're showing your screen here.
Yeah. The rabbi out in Colorado, she was having some medical stuff and had to step away for a few months, but she's back.
Yeah, I thought she was okay.
She's doing great. So yay. And Rabbi Saul is thrilled about that. We're thrilled to have Rabbi Saul Solomon in the Daverhood chatting with John Jiler right now.
Oh, shalom, my friends. Shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, Rabbi Saul Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And what a joy, what a thrill, what a delight I am having right now to be talking to a playwright, a writer of plays for many years now. He's probably best known for actually writing the book of a musical called Avenue X that was done off Broadway and really all over the country, all over the world. But he's written so many other plays that have been done in places like the Public Theater and Hartford Stage. He was at the O'Neill Center, the Kennedy Center, Seattle Repertory, even, you just pardon the expression, New Jersey rep. Not the repertory part, the New Jersey part. It's New Jersey. But also, he's a journalist. He's written for the New York Times, for the Village Voice. He's been a novelist now for several years, so writing in a longer form. So, ladies and gentlemen, won't you please welcome the award-winning writer, John Jiler. Shalom, John.
Shalom, Saul. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us. And let me ask you, Jiler, I cannot tell from your look or from your name. What's your background? What religion are you? What background are you? What are you?
Well, Jiler, actually, the family name was originally Zahila. When my grandfather, as a teenager, arrived at Ellis Island, the name was too cumbersome for the immigration officials, so he shortened it to Jiler. But I am, on my father's side, a Russian and partly Turkish Jew, and on my mother's side, Irish.
Whoa!
So they had to get married at City Hall, and both families were so bitterly opposed to the marriage that nobody came. And my reaction
Not
to
even
that,
on the wedding night. I'm sorry, yes?
no, not on the wedding night. So my reaction to that has always been, thank you, there are two religions I can eliminate immediately.
Well, the thing is, or you get drunk constantly, but it's on Manischewitz, which is a really terrible.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So are you essentially atheistic at this point, or what is your belief system?
Well, it's funny, the older I get, the more I gravitate towards Judaism, which was kind of, I resented as a child, was crammed down my throat. I declined to be bar mitzvahed. And for years and years, I considered myself to be, lying naked in a mountain stream was my way of worshiping. So I didn't, but frankly, the older you get, I live in the summertime on Fire Island, block from the synagogue. So the ancient sounds waft towards me on the high holy days. And I find that
just gay men having sex?
No. Fire Island is that's really quite a misconception about Fire Island. The gay section is small and somewhat isolated, and there's a Catholic section, a Jewish section. We're like Darwin's finches, specialized along the Galapagos. It's very. But these ancient sounds that come to you on Yom Kippur, for example, which I now celebrate, because frankly, it's a more meaningful way to observe the new year than putting a lampshade on your head and getting drunk. Fasting.
So do you fast 24 hours, 25 hours? Do not.
I do, and I sit by myself, and I find, the fasting, you get a little spaced out, and the thoughts come more easily, and you go inward and you take a moral inventory. And I think it's very valuable, frankly.
That is the purpose of Yom Kippur. It's to
Yes,
not
exactly.
just have halitosis all day. It's to
Yeah.
just be with or away from your fellow man and go, hey, what have I done right this year?
Right.
Quick. What have I done wrong this year? All right. I'll try not to repeat that. I'll repeat that. But I'm not going to, and basically this is how you take stock in yourself.
You take stock. I mean, not that I am suffused with guilt and feel that I have a lot of sins to atone for.
Yes.
I pick and choose from the Judaic tradition. So that's where I am at this point in my life.
Now, next question is the invariable one that every playwright, every writer gets. When did you realize you wanted to be a scribe?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a great question. When I was a kid, my very best friend was the son of a man named J. Blackton, who was the musical director of many of the Rodgers and Hammerstein hits of the 40s and 50s. He was in the pit with the baton, leading the orchestra for South Pacific, Oklahoma, The King and I. In fact, J. Blackton is credited with giving Richard Rodgers the idea of extending the O in Oklahoma. He said, this would be a good idea.
Yeah, he was initially going to do Oklahoma.
No, exactly. He said, no, Dick, lose that, extend the O.
Yeah.
So anyway, so my friend Billy and I, at the age of 7 or 8, would go and watch rehearsals. We'd go sit in these plush velvet seats in the Long Acre Theater, and we'd watch the rehearsal. And I will never forget watching the dress rehearsal of Call Me Madam, starring Ethel Merman. There I am, about 20 feet away from her. Now, mind you, she's reaching the back row, and I'm 20 feet away. And my most vivid memory, and maybe this is a hallucination, but it's her larynx quivering in, her mouth, the size of that voice. And for some people that might have been terrifying, but for me it was inspirational. And I thought, I want to be up there. And
one question to keep you in that moment. Right?
Yes.
So the thing we all think we know about Ethel Merman is that she would tell the directors, like, okay, once it's frozen, it's frozen. But you saw her in rehearsal. So
yes.
Was she changing things? Was she asked to change things before it was frozen? And was she malleable? Or did she freeze herself and say, I'm done?
That's a great question, Saul. But frankly, my memory is just overwhelmed by the sound of that voice. Mind you, I was, like I say, 20 feet away, and the sound was truly penetrating me. And so I became an actor when I became of age. That was my first baby steps into the theater were on the stage.
And did you study, or I forget where you went to school? Was that your track in college?
Well, I was a bit of a hippie for a long time. Lived in the woods in Canada with nothing but a horse and sleigh to get around on. Truly, what the magazines called the Back to the Land movement of the 70s.
Well, it was Thoreau. It was Walden. You probably read it.
Exactly. That was my early hero. But I did have this inclination, as I said, to be on the stage. And ultimately, when you're in the woods of Canada, huddling beside a wood-burning stove, you have to ask yourself, where is the stage that I'm going to be on? Not here. So I ultimately returned to New York, the city of my birth, and began auditioning. So I spent the first 10 or 15 years of my professional life as an actor. But
every sentence you say, I want to stop you and ask another question. So,
of course.
First of all, how long were you in the woods in Canada, like living like a lunatic?
About 3 years.
3? Even Thoreau was only like a year and a half, 2 years on his neighbor's property. He wasn't
Exactly.
such a hypocrite. He was such such a lunatic. No,
Yes.
did you, what was like, did you have revelatory moments where you were on acid half the time? And what got you through living like a bear?
I won't pretend that I didn't dabble in psychedelic drugs, but the main idea really was, for a city boy, I was born and raised on the island of Manhattan. For a city boy, riding around on a horse and sleigh was as exotic as going out with a chorus girl would be for a country boy. It was an absolute 360, and it was I thought.
But it's also the kind of thing a city boy could do on vacation over the summer in the Catskills, as opposed to spending 3 years, facing imminent death.
Well, Saul, it's either, call me an extremist, it's either the woods of Canada or the middle of Manhattan for me. I guess I'm not a suburban kind of guy.
So at a certain point, you stopped wanting to perform in front of chipmunks and beavers. Well, beavers you always want to perform in front, it's rather different. But so you go back, and do you remember your worst audition? Like the thing where you just went out and like, why did I come back here for this?
Boy, there would be a lot of candidates for that. I think that I would have to say that I answered an ad for, actors will do anything. And when they're young and looking for an opportunity and anybody can put an ad in backstage and lure actors to an audition. So I went to an audition one day for something called the White Mask Theater. And we did a number of theater games and audition things, and we were all told, you're in, you're part of it. And now the first rehearsal is going to begin. And so we were given these lines to read of very bad poetry. And it began, and we were told, but who was running, whose name I'm going to withhold for the moment, that we were to recite these lines standing on a sculpture that she led us over to, a larger than life, turned out to be a larger than life sculpture of her own breasts that she had created. Now, the idea, in other words, we've all heard about self-indulgent things in the theater. This took the cake. The idea was we were to stand around on this enormous sculpture of this woman's breasts and read her poetry, which was terrible. So, so that was a little disillusioning.
Wait. Did you, after the rehearsal, did you quit, or did you actually go through with this in a theater, standing on this woman's styrofoam tits?
No. I believe it was, I don't think styrofoam was the medium, but that's not really the point. After this audition / first rehearsal, I emerged with a couple of other very disillusioned young actors. We got very drunk in the White Horse Tavern around the corner where Dylan Thomas drank himself to death. And we never returned to the White Mask Theater.
I thought, you read about these things in backstage and the cast and go, even now that it tends to be more like just a lure to get women on couches and things like this. This was actually somebody just really deluded in thinking they have talent and something to say. But that doesn't sound so bad. It's just like, but what about a rehearsal that you nailed for something great?
Boy. Well, let's see now. We're talking about my greatest moment as an actor. I have to say, there's some. First of all, my own daughter is now an aspiring actress, and
she has
applaud it. She has my condolences and my congratulations, because I think the training as an actor is a wonderful thing to do for the human organism, for your voice, your emotional state. However, there's something very passive about the acting profession, in that you have to wait to be cast, chosen, anointed, And the older you get, the more time is limited. And so I think it's a very natural progression if you have any inclination or gifts as a writer, to kind of shift from one to the other. Because as a writer, I can get up in the morning and write, and without anybody's permission. Not that I can immediately sell it, but it's a more pleasing to the so-called mature personality.
But let's also be clear that I should have mentioned this earlier, that the show that people can see you in, that you wrote, so you're doing both acting and
Yes.
writing in one. So you can't, if you self-produce, you can certainly put yourself on stage and write, but this is what people can see. The Twilight Theater Company is presenting.
Yes.
Are you the Twilight, or is there another organization that's presenting?
No, the Twilight Theater Company is a wonderful company, led by a couple of amazing people, and they do great things. And I feel incredibly lucky that they're producing this show of mine.
Now, this show of yours is called the Rosenberg/Strange Fruit Project.
Yes.
It's done off-Broadway at 59 theaters, which amazingly enough is located at 59 East 59th Street in Manhattan. And it's you. There's also a clarinetist on stage named Sweet Lee Odom, which
Correct.
was actually my birth name before I changed it to Rabbi Sal Solomon.
No.
Directed by Margaret Perry. But please tell us what. And this is not the first production of this show, so please tell us, what is the Rosenberg Strange Fruit Project?
Well, it's been quite a journey. It was incubated, if you will, at Playwrights Horizons, which is kind of my artistic home, where I've had a couple of things done. Then it was done at New Jersey Repertory Company, which you mentioned earlier.
Well, you mentioned New Jersey.
And then last year it was done at the Edinburgh Festival, where it was nominated for a British Offie Award, OFFIE, which means Off West End, essentially.
Sure.
Their version of our Obie Awards.
And this was Edinburgh Fest, not the Edinburgh Fringe. This was
the Edinburgh Fringe, right? The Edinburgh Fringe, part of the Edinburgh Festival. And so now here we are doing it at 59 East 59. So it is, to me, a pretty remarkable story. We all know about the Rosenbergs.
Oh yeah.
I presume. And when the Rosenbergs were executed in the early 1950s, they left behind two little boys who essentially watched their parents die in the public square. I mean, it was an unimaginably horrific thing for these two little boys. They were then adopted by the man who wrote the song "Strange Fruit" that Billie Holiday then seared into our consciousness. So when I heard about this little factoid, I thought, my God, that's remarkable. And I kind of saw this as my way in to talking about American politics from then until now, when from a certain point of view, not much has changed. So I'm playing all the parts. The little boy, his mother, the judge, Billie Holiday, and about half a dozen other people. And the clarinetist with whom I am on the stage is a world-class musician, a phenomenal young woman. The clarinet being the unifying sound between Jews and blacks, who are really the crux of the whole thing. Klezmer and jazz being, the clarinet being the ultimate interpreter of those sounds. So there we are up there, the two of us, for an hour and 20 minutes telling this story. And I couldn't be prouder of it or more excited. We opened in 3 days, which is a little terrifying. But
July 10th, I should
yes.
tell, and you have until August 4th. So it's
Correct.
It's like a showcase. It's 3 weeks running at 59 theaters. It's not a showcase, but it runs, is about 3 weeks long. Yeah.
Well, it's actually an off-Broadway contract, seven shows a week. So people have a lot of shows to choose from. It's an amazing theater, by the way, one of the great off-Broadway facilities. I feel very, very lucky to be there.
59, they built it, I'm going to say recently. It's been more than 10 years now, but it was meant to be a complex Like,
Yes.
sort of like what they did with Theater Row Theaters over, a few blocks away.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, in the journey of this piece, like, have you made any changes between the last actual staging and the one you're doing at 59E59? Or was it frozen? It's kind of fully there. Yeah, I haven't touched the thing.
No, it's never frozen, because there I am, the writer and the actor up there with a certain amount of freedom. Of course, there's a limit to how much you can screw around when the lighting booth is sitting there waiting for their cue and the musician is. But this amazing musician, Sweet Lee Odom, has an improvisatory bent herself. So we feel free to occasionally want to go off on a tangent, but not too extensive a tangent, because theater is theater, and the curtain goes up and it comes down at a certain point.
Now, one of the things that I would say is almost disappointing about your career is that you've done so few solo shows. There's a video clip I watched of you on the interwebs, which is where you watch video clips, and you're telling this story just about this French teacher that you were absolutely enamored with, and it's a wonderful story. You have a wonderful way of telling it, and yet you've been in the theater so many years, and I see only like 2 or 3 solo performances under your belt. Why didn't you, once you stopped being an actor, why didn't you just write more shows for you?
Well, it never occurred to me, but now, of course, I deeply feel that anybody who has had aspirations to both those crafts, acting and writing, should give it a try. I mean, absolutely. But I think that it just, well, when you're young and callow, it seems like a stroke of ego to get up there to write something for yourself, and I don't know, man. I've gotten over that. It's.
Oh yeah, I got over that when I was 4 years old. But let me also ask you, though, you had a level of off-Broadway success with the musical Avenue Q. I mean, I'm sorry, not Avenue Q, a couple of blocks over, Avenue X.
Right. Yes.
And this is going back about 20-something years now.
Yes.
So let me ask you, at that moment when that was playing, and then suddenly you got this regional production and that production, did you feel like, okay, and I'm allied with Playwrights Horizons, did you feel like, okay, I'm going to be the next Wendy Wasserstein, I'm going to be Lanford Wilson, I'm going to be, and then doesn't quite happen. How do you keep writing after, when you think, at least, all right, I'm going to be a professional playwright, this is going to be my thing, I'm going to have a show in New York every 2 or 3 years. What happens?
Well, I have other sort of avenues. One of which is books. Shortly after we did Avenue X, I wrote a book called Sleeping with the Mayor, which is a nonfiction book about a homeless encampment that sprang up on the lawn of City Hall Park, to the fury of the then Mayor Koch. It was so. It was I began writing little dispatches about it for the Village Voice, which absolutely adored the idea of Mayor Koch being infuriated by these homeless people and trying to get rid of them. But the more he tried to get rid of them, the more the press embraced them, and these homeless people became, for an instant in the history of our city, sought after guests at cocktail parties and even boudoirs of liberal Manhattan. It was a great story and irresistible to me. And so that book was named a New York Times Notable Book of the Year. So that was a sort of success in another area. So I really am, as a writer, basically a creature of the theater, but I have.
You have a recent book, I think it's no, it's not a novel. Isn't there one about a neighbor that you found out might have been a murderer or a serial killer or something like that? Am I confusing me with someone else, or maybe I am? Oops.
You might be confusing me with somebody else.
Oh, forgive me. There was
no, that's okay. But the nonfiction novel is a form that really interests me. I guess the seminal example of it would be In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. A true story, but Truman attempts to embroider, amplify, spin a yarn, essentially, with the truth. And Hunter Thompson is another one who comes to mind. Arguably, there's a basis of truth in the stuff, but there he uses it merely as a springboard. And so I love that form, and I've done it a couple of times.
What is your most recent book? What is the most recent novel or nonfiction novel?
Well, I've also written a book called Dark Wind, printed by St. Martin's Press, which is about a hurricane on Fire Island, which, as I've mentioned, I have a summer home. Many years ago, a hurricane named Gloria, which you may remember, was making the weathermen quake in their boots. It was putting up numbers that were unseen up until that point. And it was determined that the point of landfall was going to be Fire Island itself, at which point everybody left, except for me, because I, as a teenager growing up on Fire Island, had always been willing to hurl myself into these things just for the rush of it, as we used to say as teenagers. And in fact, as everyone was taking the ferry off Fire Island, I was one of the only people going in the other direction. And I had met on the boat a lovely young actress who also felt that it might be fun to weather this storm. So suddenly I had visions of us doing this together. Sugar plums danced in my head, so to speak. But then a couple of days later, as we were preparing to weather the storm and barricading ourselves in, there was a knock on the door, and it was the Coast Guard asking for the names of our next of kin. At which point we said, "Okay, I get it. We get it."
Yeah, because the thing is,
it's a bet.
They still have to rescue you.
Exactly.
If something bad happens,
So I left finally, and I thought everyone had left. But the next day, as I was cowering in this Red Cross center in Babylon, across the bay from Fire Island, the word began to spread among us that there were 6 people who had refused to leave Fire Island. They could not be threatened, frightened, cajoled, nothing. So that was the moment this book, Dark Wind, was born. I had to find out who these people were and why they had done this and what happened to them.
Was one of them a hotsy-totsy actress, or she came away with...
She went back to New York to audition for something. She was... it was a momentary fantasy that never materialized, Saul. But
it was a fire on Hurricane Island, more than that, yeah.
Yes. So anyway, I spent the next several months seeking out the survivors of these 6 and trying to get inside their heads and trying to find, why does somebody do something? Why does someone put themselves in the path of death?
Yeah.
What and the answer was different in every case. And so it's a book about the inner landscape of the mind and the natural arena of Fire Island, which is kind of an astonishing place.
And
so
the
anyway,
name of the book is Wind. What was it called? Wind.
Dark Wind.
Dark Wind from St. Martin's Press.
St. Martin's Press, and it's now now also an e-book if anyone cares to is any interest.
This is why we're pushing it. This is why we're telling people to go see the Rosenberg Strange Fruit Project at 59E59 Theater, starting on July 10th, running through August 4th. So go get the tickets and see them. Now, do you have a couple more minutes, or I know we're coming up?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, great, good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
This is good. So, because I do want to ask you, since you've been a playwright for so many years, who are the playwrights that formed you, that you love? What plays made you go, like, whoa, besides Ethel, you call me Madam, but yeah, who else?
Well, it's so interesting. I mean, oh golly. Well, certainly Shakespeare, because every summer out on Fire Island, I direct a Shakespeare play with young people. It's part of what I do out there. And And my amazing discovery was that there seems to be a white-hot connection between Shakespeare and the average smart-ass middle school child of today. They seem to really get each other, which is mind-blowing to me. So anyway, but Shakespeare, certainly as an actor, I fell in love with Chekhov because, with Chekhov, if you're in a Chekhov play, there is never a problem understanding your motivation. You want something that you're never going to get. It's just like the futility of those characters is, from some points of view, hilarious. So I love Chekhov. I love Noel Coward. I love Beckett. I love Pinter. I love Stephen Adley Gurgis. I love all my brothers and sisters who are in this racket, or many of them.
Now, I just want to backtrack slightly. What Shakespeare play are you directing with the youth this summer?
Well, this summer, my vision has been realized, which was all along to get it to the point where the children would direct, the older children would direct the younger children, and I could simply remain on the beach sipping a daiquiri while they came to me for an occasional question and then return to rehearsal. So it has evolved to that, and this summer they're doing Romeo and Juliet with a couple of brilliant young teenagers directing it. And I couldn't, and of course I'm going to be not there anyway because of doing the Rosenberg project. So it's all kind of worked out well.
That's just absolutely wonderful. Is there a name of that theater company? I mean, do they sell tickets? Do people go, or is it? Well,
it's all free, and it takes place in a beautiful little garden on Fire Island that a very wonderful lady turns over to us for the purposes of doing this. And people come with their beach chairs and their cocktails. And the pep talk that I give these actors before they go on is that, people, the adults are coming, they are going to plop their beach chairs down, they are going to stir their drinks, and they think that they're going to see something adorable, young people in tights speaking these strange words, and then they'll go home and have another cocktail. Instead, these people are going to understand Shakespeare for the first time in their lives. That is the pep talk that I'm giving to these kids, because we're willing to sacrifice the iambic pentameter for the truth of the words. And some of these kids are wonderful young actors, doing Shakespeare for 6 or 7 years, since they were able to talk, and now they're wrestling with puberty, and they're still doing it, and it's kind of exciting, actually.
Romeo, what for? Yeah, that
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. By the way, we're talking with John Jiler, novelist and playwright. You said you're a child, a creature of the theater, even though you are writing novels. Do you get different levels of satisfaction from completing a play versus a novel, or is it about the same? Do you prefer one or the other? What?
Well, with a play, the fantasy of the playwright really is that you're in a tuxedo, pacing in the back row with a cocktail, and that, it's out of your hands, kind of.
Can I ask you, what, another question? I know I interrupted you in that one. Do you have a drinking problem?
No, I don't. For some reason, this format is inducing all of these drinking metaphors, but I've actually, in fact, it's funny. When we did this Rosenberg Strange Fruit in Edinburgh last summer, I did, in fact, have a vision of myself doing the show, and you do it every day, by the way, during the month of August. It's truly exhausting. I had a vision of, doing the show, then having a few single malt whiskeys, seeing a few other shows, carousing through the night. But I'll tell you, Saul, at my stage of the game, a solo show like this, and if you come and see it, and I really hope you will, is an absolutely exhausting athletic event. And there can be no drinking, there can be no carousing. It is absolutely demanding.
Now, Speaking of carousing, you shouldn't. You talk a lot about women, and you're married with kids. I know you have a kid. The kid wants to be an actress. But
Right.
how long have you been married? Right? You're.
I've been married for almost 30 years, actually.
Awesome. So wait, when was Hurricane Gloria?
Hurricane Gloria was in 1985.
Oh, so it was before. All right. Okay. So
shortly before we were married, or no, actually quite a while before we were married. So
is your wife? What does she do? Besides.
well, my wife is a college history teacher,
Oh.
and she is actually the one who walked in the door one day and laid this remarkable little factoid on me that the Rosenberg orphans were adopted by the man who wrote the song "Strange Fruit," which was the basis of the whole thing.
Yes.
So it's a wonderful marriage, but the only tension in it is, of course, that as a historian she deals in theory with fact, and I, of course.
No, does she get mad when you fudge? Because she obviously is going to read everything you write. Does she go like, "You can't do that. This is people are going to read your book and think this is how it went."
Well, the way it manifests itself often is, I'll be holding forth at a party somewhere and saying, "Oh, 10 years ago, blah, blah, blah." And she'll say, "No, it was actually 9 years and 8 months ago. I remember because blah, 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 blah." So she occasionally interrupts the flow of my narrative, Saul.
And that's
But,
that's
around a little bit. Well,
So, kidding. So one more question for John Jiler, though. It's you must, especially since you write novels, have a writing daily or weekly regimen as opposed to just writing when you're inspired. Do you get up, get caught, like, this is my writing time every day? How do you do it?
Well, it's interesting. I'm not a teenager who can wake up at 3 a.m, smoke a joint, and then write madly for 10 hours. Now it's a blue collar job. I have to punch in and sort of make an appointment with myself and keep it. And it's a regimen actually that I got from reading do you know Raymond Chandler's work?
Well, I've read a law book or two of his.
Yeah, Farewell, My Lovely. He's a very odd character, British educated, who then came to this country and found that the only job he could get was as a night watchman in Los Angeles in a factory which was visited during the middle of the night occasionally by a squad car from the LAPD. And listening to the squawking over the police radio, he became entranced with the underworld and crime and everything else. And that's how he began writing. But his regimen was that he would set aside 4 hours every morning during which he would allow himself to do nothing but write. Now, he had 2 rules. First of all, he didn't have to write if he didn't feel like it, but he couldn't do anything else. He couldn't get up, make a phone call, write a postcard, nothing. He was completely welcome to sit there for 4 hours. And of course, eventually you're just forced into the manuscript. So,
I mean, he couldn't even go on TikTok. So this really.
No, nothing, no. Yeah, and in fact, the computer I write on has no modem, so
So what was his other rule? He had to sit there for 4 hours. You said he had 2 rules. One was.
Well, one is you don't have to write if you don't want to. You can just sit there for 4 hours,
right?
But you can't do anything else.
No,
so therefore, you are sort of compelled.
And so do you really take 4? Do you get up at 6 in the morning and 6 to 10? Well, you have to eat, but or what?
Well, on Fire Island, where I am lucky enough to spend the summers, I have a little espresso pot, a little Italian espresso maker shaped like hourglasses, little metal things. Yeah. I put it on to perk. I jump in the ocean, and by the time I've returned, it's perked. I pour myself a cup, and then for 4 hours, I madly scribble, and then I collapse into complete incoherence for the rest of the day. So.
And here's the other deal are people waiting? Are you on deadline? Do you get commissions? Or is there an agent waiting for you to finish something? Or do you have to be the chief cook, bottle washer, and engine driver, and then go oh, I finished something, let me go to my agent?
Well, everything is different. I do have a wonderful agent, but every project is well. Right now, I'm on an extreme deadline for a novel that I've just finished. But other things are, I think that writers have something. Ideally, you have something that's up, like this Rosenberg Strange Fruit project. You have something that you're kind of about to spring on the world. I have a new play that's going to be workshopped at Labyrinth Theater in a couple of months, and then you have something in the back of your mind that's gestating, and hopefully all of these will ultimately be little income streams that will join to make a mighty river of money. But it doesn't always work.
Yeah, 59, I'm jealous that you have 3 weeks of a show there, but it's not gonna, put your kid through. Well, she's already through college and being an actress, but yeah, no, or even the Labyrinth Theater is a small-ish theater company.
It's small, but the idea is that ultimately it will. But the 59th is 59th is a the tickets are $40 or $50, and as the writer and actor, I'm entitled to a generous cut of that.
To the clarinet.
So it becomes So that there are when this Dark Wind became an ebook as opposed to just a paperback or a hardback, then you get another little bump, and you cobble together a life, a living. And it's a volatile one. Don't get me wrong. I mean, raising 2 kids and putting them through school, and with the erratic income of a writer is tough. But you have a path about which you're passionate, and to me, that's a tremendous gift, because I honestly think that 95% of the people in this world are trudging off the jobs they hate, and so if you're inflamed about something, why then?
Actually,
I'll take it.
You haven't met. What is your other kid? Are they artsy? The other, because you mentioned
my other child, my son, who's a bit older, is a climate change warrior. He's just finished a graduate program about that, and he that treats the
for climate change.
Well, no, he's
he's against
a guardian against it. The politics of climate change are his raison d'être, and I'm very, very proud of him. And and in light of current Supreme Court decisions, although that's quite another topic, but I'm not sure we have time for that. But
we do
anyway.
have time to remind people that we've been talking with John Jiler. Now, the current play that he has going is called The Rosenberg Strange Fruit Project. You can see it at 59E59 Theaters over on 59 East 59th Street in Manhattan. It's running from July 10th through August 4th. Do get your tickets now. Last question for you, John, if you're willing to say, what is the show that you're going to be doing at the Labyrinth, or workshopping at the Labyrinth?
Well, it's a show about sexual obsession, which in some ways is my specialty. I mean to say that when I was a young man, my life was taken over by love obsessions, and almost ruined a couple of times by things but when love goes badly, I don't know about you, but sometimes I am tempted to look at somebody who's 20 and say, oh, to be young again. But then I remember what it can be like if love goes badly at that age.
Yeah, because you're
and I think, thank you.
Head when you're thinking of that.
Oh my God, yes.
He reminds you. It's like, oh, you're looking at that 20-year-old. Here, yeah, love hurts. Oh,
Exactly.
But you have the experience to know that it looks so, you want to be passionate and love and this, and then you're like, no, yeah, having an old long-term loving relationship is the thing.
Yes, because at that age it can be it can take over truly, and relentlessly.
I mean,
And
can
be
you
very.
tell one because I don't know what's going to be actually in the show. That's not an autobiographical one, is it? It's going to be a fiction. The show you're doing for the Labyrinth, is that?
Yes. No, it's purely fiction, but it has its basis in a reality that we all know, I think.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't want to let you go without your telling like one story of obsessive love that almost ruined your life. Are you willing? Can you go?
Well, I will say only this: that the first time it happened to me, I wound up in a psychiatric hospital for a while. The next time it happened, all I had to do was go to a kibbutz in Israel and work for 6 months under the hot sun, which will, in the same way that our parent, I went out, by the way, not out of any Zionist zeal, but in the same way that our parents might have joined the French Legion to forget, you work your ass off in the hot sun, you forget your name. And then the third time it happened, I only had to drive around the United States in a Volkswagen bus with a dog for 5 months and wind up in the woods of Canada. And now I'm a happily married older man. So you see, ultimately, you thread your way through it all. But
well, I'm glad you came through the other side, not burned to a cancerous crisp from the kibbutz. Not tied up in a rubber room in the psych ward, but writing plays and performing on stage at 59E59. John Jiler, what just a lovely, lovely time we've had talking with you.
Indeed, me too.
So shalom to you and much, much success. Break many, many legs with the Rosenberg Strange Fruit Project and everything that you'll be doing thereafter. Thank you so much.
Shalom, Saul. Thank you so much for having me. Bye-bye. Best of luck. Check.
Oh, shalom, my friends. Yes, you just saw me. This is more of me. But I'm live me now on this Shabbos morning, July 6th, because Dave wanted me to do another segment because, I'm so much more talented and interested than Dave is. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. So, ladies and gentlemen, he has asked me, just for funsies, to take over a segment of the program called StoryTime, because I've been doing this the past couple of weeks with the stories and telling wonderful stories that are not my own or not Dave's own, but reading books because other people have written wonderful and interesting things, and we can share some of their writing with you, with me, with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this time for StoryTime, if you're an animal lover, if you're an aquatic-y kind of person, you're going to want to hang for the next few minutes because we're going to be reading from Secrets of the Octopus. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why we call it Story Time.
Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story, remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would, you gotta give in so I'll be good. Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed.
All right, so, yes, ladies and gentlemen, so settle back in your beds with your hot cocos, your cold cocos, and then relax as I read to you from this book by Cy Montgomery. I love the first name Cy. Author of the New York Times bestseller, The Soul of an Octopus. Apparently, this person wrote a whole book about an octopus and its soul and didn't finish it. There was so much more to know, somehow, about octopi, or is it octopuses, or octopussies, or octopeople? I don't know, but whatever it is, there they are. He wrote yet another book. This is not The Soul of the Octopus, oh no. This is Secrets of the Octopus. Oh. And you think I'm joking, but no, I'm not squidding. All right, here we go. I'd never met anyone like Athena before. Though she was an adult, she was only about 4 feet tall. That's 1.2 meters for you Canadians at home. She weighed a mere 40 pounds, and she was unusual in several other respects. She could change color and shape, taste with her skin, which sounds no, actually it sounds pretty good. If you go into a restaurant and you want to try some things, you can just sort of go wave your arm over something. It's like, maybe today not the brisket, but definitely the profiteroles later. I think I'll have those because my elbow is tasting them very nicely. She could drool venom like the guy at the Nathan's hot dog contest. She can spit ink, and she could jet about by squirting water through a siphon on the side of her head. I think they call that encephalitis. Ladies and gentlemen, she could also pour her baggy, boneless body through an opening the size of an orange. Kind of sounds like my honeymoon. Her head wasn't even on top of her body like mine, okay? That spot was occupied by a body part known as the mantle, containing the organs of respiration, digestion, and reproduction. Must be something interesting to have your digestion organ and your reproductive organ in the same place. And I'm probably kind of convenient. It's like, honey, I'm in the mood. No, I think I'll have a sandwich. Wait, I can do both. Here, this hole for this. Oh, don't get the wrong hole. Oh. It could work. Anywho, her head was where you would expect to find a torso, and her mouth was in her armpit. Yes, indeed, ladies and I know that they're doing all sorts of things to create transgender people now, but even this isn't happening. Athena was a giant Pacific octopus, or, in Latin, an Enteroctopus dofleini. We met at the New England Aquarium in Boston. By the way, here she is. And, isn't she a babe? Look at that. Look at that golden color. Little breading, a little calamari. So, anyway, senior aquarist, that's the word apparently, aquarist, Scott Dowd, opened the heavy lid to her tank. Standing on a low step stool, I leaned over the water. The octopus changed from a mottled brown to bright red with excitement as she spilled her liquid body out of her rocky lair. One of her glittering silver eyes sought mine as her 8 arms boiled up to the surface to meet me. I probably she would not like the word boiled being talked about her tentacles, because that's a little too close to home for them, I'm sure. With Scott's permission, I plunged my hands and arm into the numbing 47-degree Fahrenheit salt water. You're forgetting like warmer water, right? No, 47 degrees Fahrenheit. And I let her engulf my skin with her soft, questing white suckers. I should probably put this in a brown paper bag, this book. This is getting kind of hot. She was both tasting and feeling me at the same time. Oh boy, this should be on Octopornhub, I'm telling you. Most relationships don't begin with this degree of intimacy. You gotta buy her some ink first. Had a person begun tasting me at this early stage in our friendship, I'd have been alarmed. Let's get the laughing teeth on this. Come on. Yeah, that's the budget for this program. Here we go. However, I realized too that not everyone would have liked being embraced by an octopus. The water was cold, her skin was slimy, the creature I was touching was venomous, basically like a girl from New Jersey. And I soon realized as well that when I got home later that day, I would have to explain to my husband why my arms were covered with hickeys. But I was neither alarmed nor afraid. I was elated. Athena didn't just welcome my company. She allowed me to touch her head. She had not allowed any visitor to do this before. And once we spent some time together, as she tasted me and I stroked her, well, I need to use my talus to cover my gazuchi there. She changed color again. She turned white beneath my touch, the color I later learned of an octopus who feels calm. It was clear to me that during our encounter we had shared an illuminating exchange. Athena, to my surprise, was just as inquisitive about me as I was about her. But, aren't they monsters? My human friend Jody Simpson asked me the next day, as I described my encounter with Athena while we walked our dogs through the woods. Jody was a good friend to many animals. She shared her home with 2 poodles and a cat, and she was an accomplished horseback rider. She loved feeding wild birds, but an octopus? How could you have any kind of communion with an octopus, or even perhaps a bris or a Yom Kippur service with an octopus, to make it more Jewish? Indeed, centuries of Western literature have portrayed octopuses as ocean-going demons. Quote, no animal is more savage in causing the death of man in the water, wrote Roman philosopher and commander Pliny the Elder around AD 77. Now, Pliny the Younger, he was all right, but Pliny the Elder, I'm telling you, Pliny the Third was kind of in between them. Pliny the Fourth, a little bit retarded, but Pliny the Fifth, brilliant. You never know with the Plinys. The Pliny family was all over the place. But Pliny the Elder, oh, what a philosopher, what a commander. He wrote about the octopus. It struggles with a man by coiling round him and swallows him with sucker cups and drags him asunder. Because they are so different from us, because some species can grow so large, several of the largest have topped 300 pounds. And because of their enormous strength, a single large sucker on a giant Pacific octopus can lift more than 35 pounds, and the animal has 1,600 of those things. Octopuses can frighten and confuse humans, or at least humans who don't get that chance to know one. Nearly 2 millennia after Pliny, filmmaker John Williams was still dissing octopuses. Quote, a man-eating shark, a giant poison-fanged moray, a murderous barracuda appear harmless, innocent, friendly, and even attractive when compared to the octopus, he wrote. No words can adequately describe the sickening horror one feels when from some dark, mysterious lair the great lidless eyes stare at one. One's very soul seems to shrink beneath their gaze, and cold perspiration beads the brow. I hate it when perspiration beads my brow, or brows my bead. But this is not what happened to me. I welcomed Athena's touch. Her slime coat was silky, like wet custard. Yeah, you're not convincing me with that. If I'm touching something that's like wet custard, it's getting, checked for VD. Her skin was soft. The feel of her suction cups on my skin reminded me of little kisses. And Athena's changing skin, her bridal white sucker, that's right, you're right, guys, bridal white suckers, her alert gaze, her fluid grace, they all dazzled me with alien beauty. I was mesmerized by her otherness, because according to almost every basic classification of animal life, she and I were virtual opposites. She was protostome, developing an embryo mouth first. I was a deuterostome, which is close to an exoderostome and a genesisterostome, which develops the back end first. You get the tushy and then everything grows out of that. She was an invertebrate without bones. I had a boner. No, I was a vertebrate scaffolded with a bony skeleton. She lived in water, I'm on land, except when I'm on Fire Island. She breathed water, I breathed air. The last time her kind and mine had shared a common ancestor, back 500 million years ago, everybody was a tube. I like that, everybody was a tube back then. Yet I was also struck by an unexpected sameness. Despite a yawning gap in our taxonomic classifications, It seemed possible that we could have a meeting of the minds or even be friends. And then Athena began pulling me into her tank, equipped with hydrostatic muscles more like those in our tongues and our biceps. An octopus of her size can, by some calculations, resist a pull 100 times her own weight. So that'd be about 4,000 pounds. I weigh 125. I'm a teeny thing. But again, I was not afraid. I felt no malice on her part. Her pull was insistent, but gentle. I didn't worry that she wanted to eat me. I was comfortably aware that her beak, located in her armpit, and its adjacent venom glands were nowhere near the arms pulling on mine. Her tenacious tug was no threat. Instead, it was an invitation, and one that I was honored to accept. Oh, I am loving this. This is a wonder. I am so into this. But now I don't know if this gets really X-rated. If the suckers actually begin sucking on her thing and then whatever, or the tentacle, the slime and the custard going everywhere, as it would tend to. We'll just have to find out, won't we? I think I'm gonna have this for another week on the program as we read more of Cy Montgomery's Secrets of the Octopus. And just so we know, this is a picture of Cy's a girl, Cy Montgomery. She's the one on my left, could be on your right, it's hard to tell. Touching, Athena the Octopus. She has written dozens of books for adults and children, not just on octopuses, but animal science and conservation. She has written for the New York Times. Oh no, she's gotten a New York Times bestseller and a National Book Award finalist of The Soul of an Octopus and Of Time and Turtles, which is probably a very long book because turtles take a lot of time to do everything. She's been honored with many accolades and awards, including 3 honorary doctorates. Woo. Born in Germany, she now lives in New Hampshire with her husband and their border collie, Thurber. She is, I'm loving this. She's quite a writer. That's why, come back to us in a week or two because we will have more Secrets of the Octopus by Cy Montgomery. And you know, for me to love this book about an animal that isn't kosher, if it was a cow, oh my God, I'd read it cover to cover, and then like the Torah, I'd read it backwards to front all the way again. But it's so good. I want to read more with you next time on Storytime. So until then, let me wish you a most happy post-July 4th. You know, you don't have to pull the flags down. It's okay to be patriotic on July 6th and 7th and 8th and August 14th and September 27th. It's totally fine to love the country that you're in, to enjoy it, and to celebrate it. So, my friends, this is Rabbi Sal Solomon of blessed memory, wishing you a very happy week. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and move gracefully, move joyfully and beautifully, like an octopus. But don't let yourself become a sucker. And now, back to more of Dave's Gone By with Dave. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is a few minutes before noon Eastern Time here in the Daverhood, and you are still watching. Hey, man, yeah.
It was very disturbing.
Well, did you hear Rabbi
Yes.
screaming about the octopus?
I also gave some, if you look on your phone, I put some.
Oh, my phone's in the other room, but yeah.
Octopus things. I didn't know they doo-dooed where they.
Yeah, the same tubing.
I don't think that. Is that
Yeah.
a real? Is that a?
That's a real thing. It's here. Here's the book.
Legit?
Here's the book. I was listening and enraptured.
I wonder if is that a real, like, who publishes that? Is that self-published?
Oh no, this is no. This is
I
actually
think you need
published.
to get another book to compare and see if it's true.
All right,
I
we can
think
find
that's
another
true.
Octobook.
Yeah, I think you need to.
No, honey, it's National Geographic Press.
Oh, I think that's wrong. I think it's a fake book. Why would they say
No,
something?
fake book is what a musician uses when
It
they
was
have to.
horrific.
It's not horrific. It's except the octopus is obviously kind of likes her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be. She thinks he wants to be friends.
Oh, and a lot of kissing tentacles and
Yeah, and custard. There's custard being flung.
There's a problem with all that.
Yeah. From its yogurt hose. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with a few more minutes of Dave's Gone By because we've done so much. We've done Bunion Watch, and we've had our Rabbi Saul talking to John Jiler, and we've had Rabbi Saul doing StoryTime.
And
And
there
we
was
talked about.
no projectile vomiting throughout the whole episode.
Well, we've talked about projectile vomiting.
I think you should try to do some competitive eating on your show. We could get you bonbons or something. You could get like 5 of them.
Yeah.
We could get you like,
What would be
do
good?
you have your phone?
No, my phone's in the other room.
I want to look up the Black Plate Special. Let me go see.
Yes!
Gotta
Oh,
go
this
see.
is so important.
I gotta get my phone.
While she's doing that, let me remind you that our archives are at davesgoneby.com, archive.org, which is trying to win its suit for copyright stuff. Plus, if you just care about the audio of the show, if you don't need to watch it, remember you can download it as a podcast from castbox.fm. Castbox, like a box, .fm. Plus, we have a YouTube channel. Plus, we're on Facebook. They automatically archive all of our Facebook shows, too. So there's a lot of ways to watch the same material, but your best location is davesgoneby.com. So, what else did I want to tell you? Plus, I have another website. If you want to read my plays, my interviews, my articles, my song lyrics, davelefkowitz.org.
I don't think you're
davelefkowitz.org.
gonna like it. I think it's something that an octopus would eat.
Oh, no, they don't have the shrimp special again.
Yeah.
That's their black plate? They went back to the shrimp?
I think so. Yeah. It looks like.
No. You know, we've been talking nonstop about Mission Barbecue.
Shortcake.
I don't give a fuck about their shortcake. You're kidding me. Mission Barbecue, which had smoked pastrami as its previous black plate special, is now doing shrimp?
I gotta find that. Yeah.
You're sure it's the current one, not from 2000?
The one was from yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, that's September. I think it is, but it also they did it in September. Let's go back. That's fine.
Because Mission Barbecue changes its black plate specials after pretty much every holiday.
I know.
Please don't tell me it's
Let
shrimp.
me look it up.
You're going to ruin what was a
You
beautiful
calm
day.
yourself down.
I cannot calm myself down about this.
Yeah.
Black plate special is shrimp? Is it? Is it? Is it?
It says our seasonal specials.
Oh, that may be different.
Oh no.
No.
Don't throw my phone. You gonna throw it or no?
I'll throw something. I'll throw their sticker.
No. Let's see what it.
It's updating their photo. Is that going to
See
be
what it
there?
says right there.
Black plate is shrimp on the barbecue.
You should just go in there and cry.
I will.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7 shrimp.
Yeah, that's what they give me. 7 shrimp for like $14. Thank you very much.
That just
This is not special to me. It's tasty. I did try it once,
Yeah.
but it's like 7 shrimp on a little thing. Like, no, give me ribs. Give me
okay.
meat.
What they did, they said this is pulled chicken and clearly it's sausage, so they can't even identify their own.
This is.
There's something. That's
And right now it's high noon. They're playing the
they
national
they
anthem.
have fresh cut fries.
Oh, well, all right. Yes. But no, this is the moment that they play the Star Spangled Banner in every Mission Barbecue store.
That's very sad.
But what I would kneel.
Say goodbye to pastrami. You would cry on the floor like
Forget
a baby.
Colin Kaepernick. I would go to Mission Barbecue while they're playing the national anthem
yes.
and kneel because they've changed the black plate special
Yeah,
to
but
shrimp.
the pastrami wasn't your favorite. It
was
was one
good.
of the steaks. Yeah.
Well,
I
no,
think
it's-
a lot of people like seafood in summer. It's a very, we're in there.
So let them go to to the oyster.
Oh.
Riley's
Oh,
Oysters
somebody
is
wants to
a
calm
mile
you-
away.
Somebody wants to calm you down here.
Because this means that
he's wiping your tears.
until Labor Day, the blackface special is going to be these fucking shrimp. You know who can't? You know who would love that?
That's why I wonder.
I wouldn't. I like shrimp, but Jesus Christ. I'm not gonna finish the show. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna sit here.
I'll show you
I'm
something.
gonna close my eyes. I don't even exist anymore.
I'll find something good for you here. You want
Nobody can find me because my eyes are closed. Right? Na 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 da 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 da. I'm dreaming of smoke pastrami.
You want to go? We can go to Texas Roadhouse, or you want to go to?
We'll figure out something
Let's see,
else.
let's look for you. Texas Roadhouse. Let's find the menu.
Yeah, I could pay $25 for ribs. That I could do.
What are you looking
They
for?
probably have shrimp too.
Full off the bone ribs, hand cut steaks. Here. Texas size combos, dockside favorites. What do you want to look up?
All of it.
Okay, so let's look up Texas side combos or hand cuts.
No, that's
Oh no,
not.
combos you don't want.
I don't want.
Combos
No, I
means
want.
two
I want meat. I need meat. My body needs meat. Yeah, hand cut sirloin,
things.
New York strip, Dallas filet, porterhouse T-bone, They actually have something they call roadkill.
What is that?
It's chopped steak,
Oh,
smothered with onions though,
you like
and
onions.
shrooms, and steak kebab. No,
Let's-
Fort Worth ribeye.
Okay, let's compare that. So let's see that. Where do you see that?
You have to scroll. Oh, you just keep scrolling. Oh. That's all at Texas Roadhouse, right? She's working my hungry nerve, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you have to go and like log in. I'm gonna see. I'll give you the Outback too, so you can see that one.
Oh yeah. Remember Outback?
Outback menu.
Remember when Outback used to have reasonable prices?
Outback menu. It gave the Bath menu before. Menu. Oh, it's National Onion Day.
It's National Onion Day. Okay, I could do a
Let's see,
bloomin'
they have,
onion thing.
Starting dine under menu. It's $16.99.
All right. What do you get for $16.99?
I don't know. It says you can get bone-in ribeye with Aussie cab onion and seasoned butter.
Really?
Yeah.
For $16.99?
I think so.
I may do this.
Well, we have to see. I'm going to see if they have it at our. They're going to redirect it to.
Yeah, to our
the
local.
City. Let me do.
Yeah. And I wonder if they do a bone-in onion, because that would be different. That would be unusual if you had the onion cooked with the bone in it.
What?
Uh-oh, what? Well, while you're doing that, let me remind people, DaveLefkowitz.org is the place to read all the stuff I've written. Not all of it. I'm gathering it from 40, 50 years. But, it's a repository of my plays, my songs. All my stuff is at DaveLefkowitz.org. All the radio stuff, all the podcast stuff, is at davesgoneby.com. And you might want to check out TotalTheater.com also, because that's a place that I edit and founded and publish of theater reviews from all over the
So
country
I'm
and all
looking
over the
for
world.
the one that they have.
Yeah,
Oh no, it's 34, huh?
that's different.
Yeah.
$16.99 and
They have
34.
sirloin and lobster. They have, let's see, features. The special is,
Yeah. What do they got?
yeah, it's $34.
No.
Oh my God, yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you, but no, thank you. It's not my birthday. And my tragedy is, as I was born Jewish, I'm going to be Jewish the rest of my life.
$30.
Yeah. How much? Yeah.
30, 34.
It's ridiculous. This is Outback.
I know.
And I'm going to be Jewish till the day I die, unless I realize that I should convert on the last day. So it means I'm not going to pay $30.
Like chicken tenders, even their fish is $30 for salmon.
What the fuck happened to this? Is why people call it Bidenomics and Bidenflation.
No, I think it's because all the people eating the meat and stuff like you.
Yeah, but you're saying even the chicken tenders are ridiculous. I'm not going to go. We're going to. I'll eat at the Chinese place. I'll find something else.
What Chinese food?
Well, I don't know. I don't even know where we're going today. So we'll figure it out. We'll But we're not going to Mission Barbecue. We're not.
Oh wait, no. Let's see. Maybe there's steak near me. Cooked steak dinners near me.
Oh, yeah. Anything good? Or I could really turn them around and go to like Captain Trey's for seafood.
Oh yeah.
And especially not go, get shrimp, but not get it there. I could do that. So, here's what else I can do.
Maybe they have
Yeah. No.
I want to see what they have.
Oh, yeah. Do they have a lunch special?
No, but they might have. Oh wow.
What do they got?
Okay, this goes to show you. Their menu comes up from April. They're a little bit behind.
So there's a restaurant locally where the...
Their menu is from April 26th and 27th. Honey?
Yeah. And the clientele there, the youngest of the customers was like 87.
Why did it do that?
It was like Biden would feel right at home.
Today's specials.
Yeah.
Beef vegetable soup, scallops, halibut,
Halibut.
shrimp, fried chicken, eggplant.
Great.
I don't see any meat. That's funny. They're open until 11 p.m.
That's pretty cool. That's way past their bedtimes. These are people who eat at 3:30.
Sweet peas with onions. Ooh,
Well,
yeah.
that sounds good. Yeah.
Specials. I click on specials. Oh, it's just the same thing. The
Same thing.
specials or the halibut.
How's the halibut? What do they do to it?
It's
I mean-
$30.
Yeah.
I love you. Let's do lunch and dinner. Maybe we can find something for you.
I was born with a cheap Jew gene. This is what happens. Here we go.
We
Yeah.
have Italian salad with shrimp for like $20. That sounds good.
All right.
Shrimp bake club, Reuben sandwich, cheeseburger, cold cut, French dip.
French dip, okay.
Crab cakes are $24.
Yeah, crab cakes are expensive. They are.
Orange Ruffies is $17.95, but I don't know.
Ooh, I would try that.
It says broiled in lemon and butter stuffed with jumbo lump crab meat and served with imperial sauce. And they have an orange Ruffy francese. Orange
bread.
Ruffy with egg batter. That might be better.
Yeah.
Served with lemon and white wine. I used to like when I
They both
ate
sound
chicken like that. It was good. Yeah. Yeah, a lobster tail, which we won't get.
No.
Fish and chips, Marylander, which is crab cake. I'm looking for. They have a prime rib.
Yeah.
The lunch cut is $25, and the dinner's $41. I mean, that's not bad.
Well, 41 is a little nuts, but
Pork ribeye,
mm,
filet mignon's $25.
comparatively
Yeah.
decent.
And it says all entrees are served with one side, like a so that's actually better.
It's decent.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not better than when Mission Barbecue was a $14 prime rib,
I
but
know,
it's
but they
yeah.
don't have that.
Beggars
here,
can't.
So I'm just telling
Beggars
you.
can't.
Yes.
So I may think about that restaurant.
We do our bagels like we do.
We could do that.
Bagels and library is our fun time.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
What a wonderful life we lead.
It is
Bagels
a
and
good life.
library is our fun
It's
time.
it's a good life.
Other people go hiking in the mountains. Other people go
You can
parasailing.
eat a bagel and have library.
Even paralytics go
But
parasailing.
that's nice, right? We
Yeah.
can have a fun bagel
Yeah.
time.
Well, or I might go to that new place near the bagel place and grab
Oh,
might try poke bowl or something like that.
it's
Yeah.
I know. Let me look it up. Hold on. Look at boba.
Because when we go to the boba place, we have a ball.
That's fun. I'm gonna look at the menu.
So while she's looking at the menu, let me tell you
but
about.
you gotta order online. Remember, it was like.
Oh, they make it a big pain in the balls.
No, but it's okay.
Well, I'm sure if you walk
They
in
have
there.
all sorts of boba tea. They have rice bowls. They have an eel bowl. You can make a sushi burrito.
Ooh.
You can make your own, and the dishes are salmonopoli, tunato, chicken poke, toe fusion, and poke amazing.
Wait, didn't I eat there already? Didn't I go in there one
Yes.
time? I ate there already once. It was good.
Yes.
I could go back to there.
Yeah, but the last time you got the tunato,
Yeah, it was good.
but you should try something.
I would try something else. Yeah. Oh, it's fun. This is now you know, you wonder what Biden is like that he's 81. I'm 60 and I've forgotten that I
But
ate
you
in this
wanted
plate
to
2
try
weeks
a
ago.
Bubble tea too, I think. But they also have ramen noodles like miso,
Yeah.
like but that's soup. That's hard. So they have.
Yeah, 90-degree heat, I don't really need the soup
that's
thing.
really hard.
Even though I'm nuts, so I could go from soup to nuts. But
I don't know. They say purple boba keychain. I don't know what the key. Maybe buy keychains.
Oh.
Rice bowl. The burrito.
that may be.
Build your own fruit tea. Zang tea.
Oh, Zang tea. They got the Zang tea.
Milk tea. They have Zang large. Choose almond, soy, or whole milk. Includes pearls.
Oh. Yeah. They also have a vanilla flavor that I do want to try actually. So I may if we do the bagel place, I may do that instead there. Or maybe they've also got the Italian place. They may have that special that I've never tried there. If I'm thinking of the correct location.
So you have the discount for the Bravo taco, the tacos.
True. But there's also
but they only have the
I know all of you at home are fascinated about my lunch predicament here. So because I'm getting hungry, so I want to decide. So let's tell about the Friends of the Daverhood.
look at the pictures.
Yeah. And then we'll do our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, and then I can fill this gaping maw of a stomach with something that isn't Mission barbecue shrimp. So our Friends of the Daverhood. Let me put on the music. Friends of the Daverhood are folks who have been in this on this program in months and years past, and we kind of like to know, hey, what have they been up to? So, among the Friends of the Daverhood, people who've been on the show not just last week or today, of course, like John Jiler, everybody go see his play that he wrote and performs in. It's called The Rosenberg Strange Fruit Project, and it's running starting on the 10th, so starting this week, at 59E59 Theaters, which is over on 59 East 59th Street in Manhattan. And I think 59E59.org is the place to find out more and get your tickets. And thank you so much to John Jiler for being with us in the Daverhood today. Thank you also to Rabbi Sal Solomon. Go to his website, shalomdammit.com, for his rabbinical reflections, his mini sermons, as well as episodes of his TV show and his live stage show captured on beautiful video, all at shalomdammit.com. Want to let you know that today, or tonight I should say, at 54 Below, two of our friends are appearing. Jason Gra, Jason Gra is appearing. He's a wonderful, delightful cabaret singer, actor. And then he is appearing with Liz Calloway. Liz has not been on our program, but her sister, Ann Hampton Calloway, has. So it's 1 degree of Calloway. But both of them are at 54 Below tonight. Now through tomorrow, you can see a production of Much Ado About Nothing over at the Gene Frankel Theater, and that is directed by our friend Thomas G. Waits. Al Tapper has a musical called David that he wrote the score for, and it's playing at the AMT Theater over on West 45th Street now through next weekend. Sue and Lloyd Ecker, they have been shepherding their musical for a long time now. It's called Last of the Red Hot Mamas, all about Sophie Tucker. And you can see that at the Bucks County Playhouse in New Hope, Pennsylvania, now through just about the end of July. Want to let you know that Katie Huffman is directing the new musical called Empire, and it's at New World Stages off Broadway, and now for a limited run. Lou Liberator, the actor, he starts this week in a show called Inspired by True Events, and that is taking place at Theater 154. On Thursday, the 11th of this week, Tova Feldschuh is going to be at the Suffolk Theater in Riverhead with her show. Maybe this could be interesting for you. It's called Aging is Optional, in quotes. I don't know if that's ageist or pro-age or how that fits in the trajectory of how we talk about older folks. But it's Aging is Optional from Tova Feldschuh, happening at the Suffolk Theater this Thursday evening. And then Friday night, Judy Collins, the legendary Judy Collins, is going to be at the Patchogue Theater. On Friday, also, Philip Chaffin is singing on a song that's going to be on a CD released by PS Classics. The song is called Parting Gift, the album is called Parting Gift, the songs of Gerald Ginsberg, nice Jewish boy. So Philip Chaffin, who is, I think, married to the guy who founded PS Classics, he's one of the singers on that trove of songs. Steve Solomon, his solo show that he's been doing for a long, long time now, called My Mother's Italian, My Father's Jewish, and I'm Still in Therapy. That's at the Suffolk Theater, playing on next, I guess that's next Sunday already, so we're really kind of pushing forward there. But Aladdin is on Broadway in an open run and features music by Alan Menken. His music is also in the off-Broadway revival of Little Shop of Horrors. K.T. Sullivan performs Tuesday nights at the Algonquin. Steve Guerin plays at the Roxy 5 nights a week. And don't forget, Jim Caruso's cast party every Monday night at Birdland. Get your tickets at birdlandjazz.com. Shout out to our friend Evan Seplow, the founder of StageBuddy.com, and also to our wonderful friends David Sheward, who writes for TheaterLife.com, CulturalDaily.com, and TotalTheater.com, Leslie Hoban Blake, who co-hosts with Charlie Gross Two on the Aisle, and you can watch episodes on YouTube, and beloved Vicky Quaddy out there in Chicago doing Late Night Catechism and Are You Smarter Than Your 8th Grade Nun? And those, my friends, are the Friends of the Daverhood! Oh, I thought I could get just when the music was punching out, but no, I didn't. I missed it. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the finale of the program, where I say my farewells and my thank yous and all of that, it's time. Oh, is it ever time for a limerick, for some poetry? I wish I had a rose I could give you, my dear, as I intone this moving, beautiful limerick for you all, because every week we go to a different place in Colorado, and I share with you a poem I've written about it, a short poem, a limerick, 5 lines. And because it's a limerick, it's supposed to be a little amusing, humorous, and perhaps risque. Mine slide all the way into horrifying and disgusting. That's kind of the point. That's why we call them Colorado Limericks of the Damned.
You're the poetry man. A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick. Rocky Mountain, Colorado, Colorado.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, our Colorado Rocky Mountain High on poetry. So what's been happening the past few weeks is it's been wonderful in one sense that I found a wiki page with all these different places in Colorado that I wasn't able to find before. I was looking up metropolitan cities and places and towns in Colorado and finding a bunch, but I was running low because I've been doing this segment for many years now and have about 300 of these poems. So I thought, that's it, I'm running dry, we're done. And then this whole wiki page of places in Colorado presented itself. And suddenly there's like dozens and dozens and dozens more places. Now these are places, many of which don't even exist anymore. Some of them were founded in like 1897, and then by 1899 they were gone. They're ghost towns. They were never on a map to begin with, and yet Wiki somehow found them. So I mentioned them and posted them. So I think it's fair game. I think they're okay to use. So we found one, though, that this is not an old thing. This is not a ghost town. This is kind of a newish place in Colorado. It's kind of one of these, what do they call them? These planned neighborhood community things. And it's Alkire Estates. Oh, I know. Of course you've heard of it. Alkire, A-L-K-I-R-E. Alkire Estates, Colorado. It is a neighborhood in Arvada, which is a pretty well-known area there. And it's a very nice neighborhood. As a matter of fact, the average home in Alkire Estates sells for anywhere from $1.2 to $1.5 million.
Wow.
Cause why? Well, it's Colorado, and also Arvada is only about 10 miles away from Denver.
I see.
So location is really, really wonderful.
When you got upset before, I think you knocked off one of the.
Oh no! Oh dear. Oh, I don't know where that came from. I knocked the thing off the thing. It's the screwy part of the thing. And this is the screwy part of my. Oh, thank you. Oh, I got so upset with Mission. Oh! Don't even talk to me about Mission Barbecue. Oh, thank you, Sweepy.
I wants to clean the.
Yeah, clean the screen because I'm so juicy.
Clean
I'm
the
so
radio.
expectorant. But anyway, Sweepy, do you want to hear my Colorado Limerick of the Damned for Alkire Estates? Oh, he does. He
You were
does.
shaking.
Oh, he's afraid
He's
of
having
it.
a seizure.
All right, let me. I was going to tell it to you, but I'll tell it directly to Sweepy McSweetface. This is a limerick. Now, please do not expect Elizabeth Barrett Browning here, or maybe a little Walt Whitman in this.
Hey, you got.
What? Save that for the end. Yeah.
How'd you get that?
I got it. Because I figured we're talking about him so much. So it's happening. It's happening. But first, the limerick. Our color. You're gonna touch it? That's what I said on our honeymoon. Look. Oh. She's getting it ready. But first, the limerick with Sweepy McSweetface about Alkire Estates. A spinster in Alkire Estates has very bad luck on her dates. The geezers are useless. They're feeble and juiceless. No wonder she just masturbates. Please send your comments, opinions, and hate mail to davesgoneby@aol.com. davesgoneby@aol.com. I promise to read everything that you send. I don't have time necessarily to respond to it. But you can also message me on Facebook right here on the page, or post under the episode with other people's postings. I'd love to hear from you. Love reading what you have to say. So davesgoneby@aol.com. Don't forget to also share with everybody that we have our Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2, our Instagram page.
Wait, you have a guest.
Dave Lefkowitz. Is it Dave Lefkowitz, I think, or Lefkowitz Dave? All right, here we go. This is the thing. Early in the show, I was telling you guys about a garage sale, a yard sale, an estate sale that we went to.
I would not call it an estate sale.
Oh, not this one. No, this was whatever this was, like come in the house, take something, but pay us for it. And we're talking about a horrifying object that I saw, and I wanted to just come out and show my wife and go, oh, hon, we need this, and have her go, no, put that down, get a rabies shot. And instead, she did me one better. She checkmated me, my beloved wife did, and said, yes, we do need that. We want this very much. He's adorable. We love him. And so I bargained. Well, I didn't really bargain with the guy. The guy said $5. I'm like, are you kidding me? But I shelled it out. This is the newest addition to our family here. This is what I was telling you about this. This! The man charged me
Fix his car.
$5.
He's worth it.
It moved. They sort of move. No, they don't really. They don't even, they kind of move outward. I guess pipe cleaners are in this thing. This. It's a squirrel with messed up eyes. He's got more fur than I thought. It feels like he got wet and dried badly. If we
Something
shampoo,
happened to him.
we could probably shampoo and blow dry him and see what happens.
I don't think we should.
He's got a nice-ish tail. And again, the tag on this, which is long. How did he know this was Steve? Where do we find this tag? Doesn't even say anything.
No, it doesn't.
This could be Mattel. This could be like a ninth grade, arts project in a junior high school. It could be Steve. Whatever it is, we own it now. Maybe I'll make the surprise like on our next Tony show. Like if you get all the answers right in our quizzes, or if you get all the answers deliberately wrong, And of course,
I'm not giving him up. I love him.
you look, but what do we name him? What can we put?
Squirrely McSquirrel face.
Squirrel.
Didn't we call him dangly eyes or something with the eyes?
Look at
He looks like one of those, you know, those the images where they melt.
yes,
That's what he looks like.
yes, that's exactly what like in Terminator when Short.
I think he's so cute. Look at him though. He's adorable.
Yeah, well, he could be if the eye were in its
Just
place.
fix the eye, yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah, look how cute he looks.
See there, if we get him just proper side eye,
Maybe some.
he would
dog
actually be
now.
kind of cute.
He's adorable.
So, our new friend.
Someone's.
I can feel the bed bugs on me already. But yeah. So,
Moppy McMoppy.
no, Sweepy McSweetface is not jealous.
He'll clean him. He'll clean him.
I don't want him touching. I don't want this touching anything.
You brought it in my room.
We need to fumigate this like African art or something. Oh my God.
He's cute.
So Squirrely, he's not Squirrely McSquirrel Pants, but he's
He
something
doesn't
like.
have pants on.
He doesn't have pants. That's why he
I
wouldn't
think
be.
we call him
He's cute.
Squirrely.
Squirrely?
Squirrely.
All right, Squirrely. He's. Yeah.
So cute.
Do you think Potato's jealous? How come you think that's cute and Potato you don't think is all that? Potato you never really had that great love for.
I let them in my home.
You did. You did. And they could have an eating contest because Potato has teeth now, and of course squirrels have very sharp teeth. They could really go at him.
Look at this eye jangling. Look at this eye jangling. That's no God. We should call him Jangly Eye.
If people are wondering why I have stayed married to this woman for 26 years, this should tell you everything. You know,
We have friends.
the love that we have makes up for.
We had a friend staying for a while for a conference.
Yeah.
And we have Melzuzas, and she didn't come at once. So
We have, I don't know if you know this, folks, I may have shown this once.
Yeah.
We have pictures of our friend of the neighborhood, Melvin
He's
G.
our patron
Mintz,
saint, yeah.
local politician, but I keep
And physical therapist extraordinary.
he's a former physical therapist and politician up in the Owings Mills area.
No.
No.
Pikesville.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pikesville area. But I cut out and keep a small photo of Melvin G. Mintz on all the doorposts of the house, and we call it a Melzuzah.
And sometimes when you open the bathroom cabinet to throw the garbage, he's
There's a
in
picture of
there.
Mel.
I
Yeah.
think he's on the oven. He's everywhere.
Yeah, I stopped putting up Mel's. I need to put up some more for good luck because I can really use it right now. So, yeah. It is interesting. We had a friend staying. This is a friend we talked about last week.
Yeah, who said
Right.
nothing.
Lovely woman. Sees the potatoes in the living room, doesn't even say
Oh,
anything.
no, she knew them before. She
Oh,
met
she-
them last
she met
time
them,
she was here. But Mel was not part of our family.
But on every doorway, a picture of
he was
Melvin
not
G.
here at
Mintz.
that time, yeah.
And she sees this
Sometimes many of them,
everywhere.
many Mels.
and she doesn't even ask. She doesn't even think to.
So she was so impressed by you. She's like, oh, David is so kind. He does everything. He's so helpful. He's lovely. Not one mention of the fact that the house is filled with
It's
Mels.
filled with Mel's. Yeah.
Yeah.
She did miss the unicorn. Was she here when the unicorn was here?
No.
No, last time. I mean, I think she missed the
yeah.
unicorn. She's
I don't recall.
we're interesting people.
And she didn't even get to meet Squirrel. That's my only
I know. We could maybe as a housewarming
Oh
gift.
no, we're not gonna mail that to her. I don't think we're gonna mail.
No, you don't think
No.
so?
That might be taken as some sort of weird message. If someone receives that with no note, it could be taken very badly.
Well, she has family. We could just courier it to one of her relatives.
Yeah, but I think even that, like, imagine taking that on the plane. Like, imagine you say, "Oh, I can't sleep. I need to hug my mascot," and then from the plane you whip out that.
If you wonder why 12 people got diarrhea on a Delta Airlines flight, somebody would show them this.
He's cute.
He's adorable. He is cute. I am growing to like him. I am.
His name is Perry the squirrel.
Perry, that's right.
That's
Perry.
his real name.
Because he gives you Perry if you touch him.
I don't know why they call. I'll look and say.
Why do they call it Perry? Is that a German thing?
I think it was like made for Disney. Perry the Stiff Squirrel. Oh no, they have squirrels. Okay. Stiff squirrel doll called Perry. Yep, this is him.
That is him.
Yes.
So why do they call him? Is there anything on Wiki about him, or?
There are two sizes.
Yeah.
It just says Stife Vintage Perry,
Mhm.
Squirrel Perry. That's his name. I don't know.
Perry.
It doesn't give a lot of. It says it probably triggers.
It
It probably triggers childhood memories in every vintage lover.
Oh, it would be triggering. It would definitely be triggering. If I brought this into one of my classes and I
So cute, I
showed
love
this,
him.
I was like, trigger alert.
Oh, there's some that are actually in worse shape. He's called Perry.
All right.
Walt Disney's Perry, Lost and Found.
Oh, it's Disney?
I don't know.
Could it be a Disney item?
No, but it's.
Or Steve? Steve. Yeah. Well, looking at this, I can get a steep drink. I'll tell you
Oh,
that.
he's so cute.
Ladies and gentlemen,
no.
for
Perry
whatever reason,
Squirrel, 1960 to 67, mohair, plush brown hair. That's him.
it is him. So I thought it was older, but it's 1960-67, made by Stife as a Disney character. So it's not
No,
Chip and Dale.
I don't think it's Disney.
Oh.
I think someone just put that.
Perry. And of course, if you brought him to a Spanish family,
Mm-hmm.
they would look at him and you go Perry, and they go Como. We could name him that.
Lord, no,
Okay,
we're not
Perry
calling him
Como.
Good.
No.
There's not a lot about him.
If his last name was Tanium,
Does Stife have a Stife website?
because I'm curious.
Stife German doll maker website. European shop in English. Online shop. Let's see.
Ooh, yeah. This could be like a horror movie. If you are in possession of this squirrel,
I'll do Squirrel. SQUI.
could be like the videotape in that movie.
Oh no, they have not just current ones. They have Nikki the squirrel and Phil.
I mean, see that? Yeah. Is that mohair, or do they do it in like a soft,
No, that's
cuddly?
soft. Now they
Yeah.
do soft.
Yeah. I'm gonna look the other way on this. You've been watching the 951st episode of the. Oh, see, this is okay. This is what it's.
No,
They're
that's
really
the
not
new
that
one.
cute.
That's the new one. No.
Ours is cuter. I don't even like that.
You're falling in love
He's
with
got like a clown face. Yeah.
Perry Como.
Oh.
He's very cute.
And when fall comes around, Joyce and I are going to find a pine cone, and we're going to give him what he's supposed to be holding, which is a pine cone between his little arms. There we go.
Do you find this one cute? Wait, Flip Mouse. Not Flip Mouse. Probably won't work.
This could work. Here we go.
Do you think this one's cute?
How about this?
Oh no, get that off of him. Do you think this one's cute?
Let me see. I don't know, the white.
It's not as cute as him.
No, I don't know. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. We've got the authentic. And if someone wants to take this off our hands because it is valuable for I don't know, $2,000-$3,000, we will accept any reasonable offer. But nothing under 100. Not for Perry. Oh, nothing for under 200. It's the. I looked into his eyes like this and fell in love.
Yeah.
Oh God! Did you find anything else about Stife or anything, or about
There's a woman
Joey
in a
or the
wheelchair.
vomiting
Margaret
lemonade
Stife
man?
is
Or
in a wheelchair.
what? Who's in a wheelchair?
The founder.
Oh. Well, the founder of Stife would be in a wheelchair if that was from however old that company is. He's lucky he's still ambulatory. Well, he's not ambulatory. Lucky he's still
It's a lot
breathing.
about teddy bears. They like teddy bears more.
Anywho, it is. Oh my God! It's like almost 20
Why
to.
would they think mohair is good for children? She's like, only the best is good for children. Why would you think mohair?
You know why? Because so many women do Brazilian waxes, and when I look down there, I want to see some mohair. No, nothing.
I'm trying to figure out
Nothing. Yeah.
if this is real. Foundress. It was founded by a woman. I like that. We're gonna keep it.
So is she in a wheelchair?
Yeah, she's the founder.
What's her name? Oh, Stife?
Yes.
When she was, this wheelchair picture is from like 1874.
Yes.
Oh, she was in a wheelchair. She died in 1909.
Yes.
I thought she said she was like
Oh,
alive and
no,
like just wheeling herself
no,
around. Oh.
no.
Margaret Stife, a German seamstress, founded Margaret Stife GmbH in Germany, more widely known as Stife, maker of toy stuffed animals. She was in Gingen, Germany, I can't pronounce it. She had polio as a child, leaving her with both legs paralyzed and pain in her right arm.
Oh, God.
As she trained as a seamstress, but she could raise enough money to purchase a sewing machine.
Oh. What? It's fake? What?
No. Do you know how she raised money to purchase a sewing
Do
machine?
I want to know? Making squirrels?
This is a woman, no legs, and pain through her right
she has
arm.
legs. They're just not.
Legs that don't
Yeah.
work, yeah. She taught people to play the zither.
What's the zither?
Is that in that musical, the
My Lord.
movie The Third Man?
Oh, no.
Sort of like a harp, but
Oh,
not.
my God. Poor woman. And you wonder why the squirrel looks like that.
No, she's probably younger than this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
although 1847 to 1909, she was only 6 years older than I am when she died. So around this time, Marguerite came across a sewing pattern for a toy elephant and patterns for mice and rabbits using felt and lamb's wool. Oh, she made toys as gifts for friends and then began to sell some. And then her variety increased, and by 1902, the company began making a toy bear. The bears there are big,
Yeah,
the Stife bear. Movable joints based on a design by her nephew, Richard Stife. It took off in the United States, and of course, that's when Roosevelt's teddy bear became the thing. Wow. Her legacy, she became an important figure in German female entrepreneurship. One of the most famous and sought-after brands of teddy bears and other plush toys.
Even squirrels.
Plush. Vintage Stife toys have become valuable collectibles,
Yes, there you go.
with
See?
auctions fetching prices that regularly make the news. We should put this on eBay
Tiffany's.
for
What
$7,000.
do you call it? Not Tiffany. What's the one? Sotheby's.
Sotheby's. Yeah, right, yeah.
Sotheby's wants him probably.
You know, I don't. Do we fix the eye? Do we fix the eye with thread from
No,
that
I
time?
think we have to get a professional eye fixer and somebody can get him an acorn.
But also, again, this is not from like 1897, sewn by Margaret herself.
He's rare because he's good looking.
Yes. But we know he was mass manufactured because he's got the ear
That's
tag.
okay.
Are you going to? No.
Oh, please, potato.
Potato's not. It's all right.
People who live in glass houses, potato.
Potato's beautiful. He has beautiful orthodontia teeth now.
They're very straight.
See, there you go.
You
Look
take
at
him
that.
to the dentist with you because he's looking good.
They could be perhaps shaved down a little bit. Right now, he kind of looks like Joey Joey Chestnut. Give me some frankfurters. I'm gonna do it.
No, he wants ketchup. They do ketchup eating contest.
Ketchup potatoes. The thing is, if you put potato against potato, they would never stop. The contest would now have no end time.
They
would
would
just
stop
eat.
because they'd eat enough and share.
Oh, that's nice.
They're good.
Well. You've been watching the 951st episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebook Podcasting Programmio of the Stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful, wonderful wife. And thank you once more to John Jiler, our guest in the Daverhood. Go see his play. It's called The Rosenberg Strange Fruit Project over at E59 Theaters. And go check out Rabbi Saul's website, shalomdammit.com. So we hope to see you soon. I might take a vacation next week. Not too sure. Kind of need one. Kind of in the middle of prepping for a whole bunch of things and doing other stuff. So you'll have to check the Facebook page and also davesgoneby.com to see if we'll be doing a show next Saturday. But if we're not, oh boy, we will certainly be back the Saturday after that with our 952nd episode. of the Dave's Gone By. Pooey. Thank you, Pooey, for serving as our number. Usually, hey, today's number 1. Usually he's number 2. Yeah, you've been watching, for whatever reason, this program. Check davesgoneby.com for the archives. Have a wonderful week. Keep cool. Anything else we have to wish anybody or love to our families, love to Mom, whose birthday was last week, to your mom and dad, to my aunts, uncles, and cousins, and all those folks. Anybody, I used to say this, anybody who wishes me well, I wish well back at. And gone by.
Days gone by, days gone by, gone by.